two teams. Let's see how it is going to go.
Oke,
ZETA
jadi ini
selected
adalah
to jump onto the
ini
attacker
adalah
side
match yang
first.
kedua.
And yeah, a bit
Blade
of a discussion on the
menghadapi
desk
ZETA,
as well,
guys.
just talking about, you know, how ZETA used to be the really passive team,
Siapa
the
nih
one
yang
that
bakal
took, you
jadi
know, try to
pemenang
utilize
di
the entirety
pertandingan
of the
match yang
timer,
kedua kali
and
ini,
they kind of like
guys?
fell in line with the rest of Pacific. Bleed now is kind of the slower team. Curious to see if ZETA wants to take a little bit of, you know, I'm sure they were watching the first match as well, where T1 essentially just W-keyed. Maybe they say, okay, well, we can do that too, and maybe they'll bring it to Bleed here real quick.
And they have in the past, and it's been really good to see ZETA not, you know, really running down the clock as much as they had in previous, you know, metas and matches and whatnot. But that was something that we saw them slipping back into in their last series. It was them just not really feeling confident, not, you know, really running down the clock until they had 20, 15 seconds remaining. And then just getting picked off on the approach to these spike sites. But now it looks like about 40 seconds gone. They will start clustering up over towards A. See what this attack does end up looking like here for the squad. For now, just going to be Darian cutting back over. But he's not alone. There's a couple players here clear out on that 0 point. Not going to confirm much of anything as far as the forces are concerned.
Yeah, still a bit of a rotation on over from the side of Bleed to get in position on this A site. But there's the curveball, and around the back comes Step. They didn't
30 seconds
quite lock him down, but the paranoia comes through.
Spotted one, sends out the hot hands, will get a bit of damage across there. Zero able to find one. Zest bringing it back. It's just a bloodbath here on the point, and suddenly Laz is all on his lonesome in a 1v2. Scary down to a one tap. He has gotten quite many headhunter bullets, but yeah, takes quite a bit of damage from that paint shell. Swing around the corner, has to take the TP out. Sweeps that one up, and that's going to be Ye getting ready to hold on this defuse. Laz taking his time, but there's two players. He's got to try to go for it. Well, he does force Ye off the defuse. He cannot get the kill, and that will be Bleed picking up the pistol round win.
Yeah, good start for them. It was absolute chaos, as you mentioned, on the site. It was just trades back and forth, 1-for-1, and eventually Chamber left alone, and Laz not quite able to get it done. He really did, though. It was kind of close. I feel like if he had time for one more bullet at the end, one more headhunter, might have been enough. Retla really had a great angle there. As Ye uses half, comes off.
Nice luck, guys.
Well, solid start here for the side of Bleed.
Bleed.
Really, I mean, just that paranoia onto Dep really slowing up that entry, forcing him back behind the box, unable to get the instant punish onto Zest. Really unfurls things there for ZETA. Well, quite a many few players going to be suppressed as that 0 point goes out. See what ZETA opt to do.
Yeah, to spark a little push from Bleed out of B. Maybe see what they can see. Get some extra information. ZETA, most of them just hanging around tiles, just waiting to see if they do go and commit to anything in mid. But for now, just seems like maybe another A hit.
Headhunter, Sheriff, two biggest weapons that they have here at their disposal. Taking their time. Just going to be creeping forward. 0 point to check any forward presence in mid. And the push out of B main really should tell Bleed all that they need to know. As they just wait for them come pushing in. Lambs of the slaughter. Or picked up there. Steps just going to be trying to build up these run it backs as quickly as he possibly can. Swing over the corner. Yoda going to be taking an immense amount of damage as that mosh pit comes through, and Ye. Okay, well, Scary. He'll go ahead and claim the kill. Thought for a second that they were actually going to try to get a knife. Laz had shot onto one. Retla onto the corner. Able to just go ahead and mow down 3 players. That will be damn near flawless round here for Bleed to pick up the anti-eco.
Yeah, just Laz, the one guy, does get the headhunter kill, and that was about that. Retla already building up to his own ultimate, so we'll see when he'll get a chance to use that one. Maybe here to try to secure a bonus. As Scary, he didn't want to wait. Retla just had kind of the off angle to stop them in elbow. And once again, let's go. Just positive vibes so far for Bleak.
That's something that has been lacking for the most part. Retla had some polarizing performances as well in his own right, so good to see him off to a roaring start, having that ult online already here going into the bonus round. Could turn the tides and allow them to get a conversion here perhaps, but for now she's going to be market door broken down. Dep getting tucked all the way up here at top mid. Smoke coming through here from Scary as well to try and dissuade any push into market.
Poison's off.
Yeah, just holding the line is Yudon over there on the right side. But will they go for this push through market is really the question. A lot of the time you got to just follow where Depp is going to go, especially when he's on this Phoenix. For now, he's just going to back out of mid, just not really looking to take an angle here just yet. Yudon trying to get some information at B main. It's not going to see much. And that might spark a little push here from the side of ZETA.
One trap wire cleared out, still another one. There on the spike side itself. Wall goes up. Retla going to be noted there as that recon comes through. A little bit of spray through. Just a couple shots there on the Lazarus. That's going to be... Okay, Retla actually getting taken down. Depp able to go ahead and find him despite the fact that he's the one walking into that trap wire. Darian now looking for the target. Flash comes through, but he's already been taken down. Darian with the elimination. Depp now on the ground. Sugar Zero on that right-hand side. And just Zest and Hiron seeing enough of Darian to be able to find the kill before the flash does bloom. Now Spike on the ground. 10 seconds remaining. Laz picking it up. Yudon trying to reinforce his position. He arrives in time to save the round, but cannot save his teammate's life. Cannot save any additional weapons here. ZETA barely scraped by with a win, and they lose 4.
Yeah, so they're on the board. They deny the bonus, but it is not the greatest look, especially this from Depp. I mean, he was just kind of flailing around. He throws a flash. His teammate gets flashed. He goes down, and it's got to be rough to try to clear out that entire B site, but not the cleanest entry we've ever seen. Definitely already saw a lot better from the first match. So hope that they can kind of clean that one up if they are going to have a chance here to get some good entries.
Looking for that cam. There you go, finally find it. Run it back is available. Looks like ZETA widely just wanting to poke around over at B, get rid of some of this Cypher util. Let's make him a little bit more uneasy with this defensive setup. 3-man stack here over towards A site, but now we see that Zest is going to start rotating back around as ZETA work their way up through mid.
Let's see what this drone can get in terms of info. Believe it spotted the A there. He's just going to back off. It's now.
Right, Laz didn't even try to turn around, but Paranoia thrown through. Looking for the wallbang here is scary. They just sided double face. Oh, well, okay, it's a nasty shot from Laz, but scary. Able to find him in the end. Redla now waiting in market, finds Depp. We're getting traded out by Sugar Zero, but Darian finds Hiron at the same time. So it's a 2v3. Scary at 8 HP, but Sugar Zero
30 seconds
33
left.
himself, so
Planted.
rough position to be in here for ZETA as they look for the
One
second round
enemy
win.
remaining.
Bite goes in, but Sugar Zero now going to be taken down. And it all falls to Yuran, one of the rookies here for ZETA to try to clutch up.
It's his birthday.
Quite the present.
Let's see. That'll help him push forward. 1v3.
He's got one snake bite to try and delay. Swing out.
Uh-oh.
Getting spotted, has swapped off. Over to that Vandal. As they continue to push up. Finds the first one. That was scary. He was low, but now Darian is well tagged up. Spray across, but has to go for the reload. It already is held to half. Gets the spray onto one, but he cannot find it onto the other. Ye will actually get the defuse, swing out, and even take the weapon away from him. Bleed. Move up now, 3-1.
Not the birthday present he was looking for at all. Nice try, though. I mean, that first kill was good. He nearly gets the second onto Darian, but yeah, scary, pretty insane shot there as well. Retla holding his own, does a bit of extra damage.
Target down.
And then eventually, we see him just hold the defuse, and the spray is just off. You know, he just assumes that he's a bit closer to it, I suppose, and that's going to be an early timeout here from the side of ZETA. It's only 3-1, and 2 of those rounds were, you know, one was the pistol, one was the anti-eco, so pretty early on here, but maybe the coach not liking what he sees so far.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a slippery slope, so I don't necessarily mind the early intervention here. You're down by 2. You're getting ready to come in. You didn't carry over any weapons, so want to be able to just get in there, say, okay, we're going to come in. It's going to be a bit of a lighter buy for us. This is what we can try to do to make things work here, and then this is what we're going to do when the full buy comes through in the next round. Because otherwise, don't get that intervention. Maybe Carlisle is also noticing something. You know, maybe it could be anything. It could be the comms, the way that a certain player is playing one position that is, you know, in his mind, costing them dearly. Then he wants to make an adjustment on immediately. So we'll see
Goes here.
exactly what ZETA have up their sleeve as they come into this one, but it's just going to be a Sheriff for Hirodon. Some classics head on. They do have a tour de force available here for Laz,
That goes there.
but otherwise just Yuran with a Guardian.
This is a nice. Look.
You want to play? Let's play.
That will be the ult pop.
Yeah. It's making it pretty clear what the plan is, I suppose. And some smoke down here already. Generally, I mean, with the Cypher, he's going to try to hold this down by himself. You see Sugar Zero, or rather not Sugar Zero, Scary is on the back of B. And Boba just holding it down if this push does come in. So far, not a lot of utility, just Laz looking for a pick, but you'll see that on the side of Bleed so far, very defensive. Scary is thinking about getting a Paranoia down at least. Or at least just the smoke for now, just to delay any further push onto this B site.
Laz just skirting around the sides of this one, seeing if there's any gaps that he could try to abuse. Noted is, oh, yay. Almost caught with util, or rather knife in
Out
hand.
of charges.
Swiftly exits back around. As now everybody from ZETA starting to encroach upon this A site. Darian thinking about swinging the corner potentially. See if anyone's going to come pushing into him, and Yuran
30
has had a
seconds.
sight, but right as he was drawing the weapon back down, ends up getting popped. Swing onto the corner, Darian knowing that none of the rest of them really have any kind of weapons. Works his way forward and finds himself a second elimination. Now the 0 point gets to catch on to 3, or at least 2. Looks like Hirodon maybe getting a little bit further ahead of that one, but Darian comes up with a
Last
third.
player standing.
And that should just about do it.
Spike down.
Laz with the ult. Gonna have to kill all of them in the next 8 seconds, but he's only going to be able to find the one. Ye will go ahead, finish it off. That is now 4-1.
Who said
Yeah,
this
I
wouldn't
mean,
be fun?
not obviously the round you're going to be looking for ZETA, maybe hoping that Laz could get a little bit more value
30
with that
seconds.
tour de force, but it really all starts off Darian, and he gets aggressive too, knowing that, you know, he's not going to be dealing with much firepower. Takes out 2, gets 3 eventually, and then Zess and the A cleaned it up. Not too much else to talk about on that one from the players. But 4-1 is a fantastic start here from the side of Bleed. They have been pretty much in control of every round. And now Ye has that operator up online.
Just go for a timing shot. Thought maybe he would actually just fish for it. Pop flash at the ready. Swing out from Darian. Not able to find anything there, but Ye will get hit on. So a 1-for-1 in the end. Ye whittled away down to 45 health.
Yeah, so Darian was a little bit confused about who to shoot at. And eventually just went down. That's fine. Yeah, to spare the blushes. And now a bit of a split. We do see that Depp and his buddy Sugar Zero over towards B main, where we do have a slight push coming in through elbow at the moment.
Toxin screen down.
Not on the trap wire. Camp's still set up, so Retla can keep an eye on the site itself. They'll hear that being toggled on and off. A little bit more on the left.
There you go.
On the trap wire, trying to sell this as an eventual A hit. Overall, Bleed still in a decent position as they have 3 players towards this B site.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, seems like they're pretty well set up for this one.
Smoke comes down. Yep, because they just will pop, run it back. It's the curveball. Back killer though, and Scary swinging out onto that left-hand side. Able to find one in the smoke. Now Izza swings out. Able to find one. Snaps back right as Retla comes pushing through. Laz will be able to collect the kill.
Spike planted.
I thought Bleed had nearly cleaned that one up. The Paranoia timing was fantastic, but Depp just leading the charge and creating space for the rest of the team to push in. And Depp even getting a kill of his own during that ultimate. So, Ye is very much away from this. He wasn't able to be there to help stop that push, and he's just going to hold on to his operator.
Watching here.
Will they push out and try to get it? I mean, it's going to only be their second round, so probably just going to hold on to the win, and be happy with that.
It would be, high value for them to be able to take that operator out of his hands, but trying to go on too big of an excursion to get rid of it. Also a bit risky for themselves, given that the cash is still a bit unstable here for ZETA Division.
Yeah.
So, widely, we'll just pull back over towards the attacker spawn, stay grouped together. Yay. Just tucked there in elbow. So, 4-2. Bleed still with a lead, but ZETA seemingly, in the discussion during the timeout, paying off to get themselves a second round win, but can they string another together?
Well, we got All ults available here for the side of Bleed. No doubt they'll be looking to at least showstopper to stop the push from coming in. But yeah, this was Steph just kind of getting in their face, throwing double curveball, getting value out of the run it back, and creating space for his team to make it onto the site. Cleared out.
Over the top, looking spotted. Now they go bouncing forward. Yay, having swapped the operator over into Rettler's hands himself. Here on site, waiting to see catch anything. As there's the swing in, Dep's going to be taken down. Solid opening kill, but Laz able to find Ye at the same time. So the duel is now eliminated on both sides. As it is going to be the null command invested from Darion, just looking to hold them at bay. Just continuing to creep forward, gets timing through the wall. Catch on to hit it on. TP across now over onto the B side of the map, though, as the plant will come through, but Neural Theft will reveal their positions.
Yeah, I mean, cleaning up the site was Laz, and they're even going to commit here to the pit. It is a pretty nice spot to go for a 3v4, and with the plant down and Bleed having to rotate all the way over, see if this does work out for them, as they'll be able to hold on a B main and just essentially have Laz to clear out the backside of that. So here comes the Thrash trying to clear out inside this pit, and now they're going to charge on into this one.
Okay, well, Sugar Zero detained, taken down by the fragment. Work cut out for them here in the 2v4. They will obviously take them low, wingman in, and either try to clear this one off. It's going to get up to halfway. Now it's just holding for it. Does get interrupted eventually, but hold in just enough time. No, they bought enough. 51 seconds. The difference maker is, I mean, again, it's not clean, but it's ZETA clawing this one back.
Yeah, I mean, these rounds that they are getting are like, it's like pulling teeth almost. They're just barely able to scratch their way by. And this one, definitely a nicer setup at least. Bleed with the man advantage. They're nearly able to get in there, and yeah, wingman gets it a half, and then they have to try to finish it off, but it's just barely not enough time. So they hold on. They get another round win, but it still does feel like Bleed are mostly in control of this map so far. So let's see if ZETA can continue with some more aggression. That time around, though, it was kind of like a big push on A and then a big rotate over to B, obviously with the Omen ult and Laz clearing it up. So a bit of trickery that time around. ZETA certainly taking their time with some of the pushes so far.
Yeah, just a lot of noise made over in mid. Good mark set up outside of A, just in case that there is an eventual lurk out. Will have to be reclaimed, though, as Laz gets ready to outrange it. Working their way forward here in towards A. Bleed now. Hack hunting mentality would seem. Everybody just shifting together aside from Darion, who's just trying to get some additional information. But 0 point is overall avoided. Fragment sent down to try and delay. Laz, however, can swing out a little bit wider around that, avoids that one way, and also finds a kill. But Zest now, weapon recovered as he takes him down. So on Sheriff shot there. Step, trying to swing in, looks for the timing, but is only able to find one. Shows up from Ye, takes down Sugar Zero. Paranoia, a little bit wide though, as he got it on. Is able to find one kill, but Zest continues. Keep himself and the team overall in this round. 60 HP, Yuran sneaking in from behind. Does Zest get a read on this so far? The answer is going to be no. Wingman sent in, still not quite watching for this one. Yuran getting ready to swing the corner, and there it is. A shot comes in. Be the last one left standing, but that is tied up. 4-4. ZETA, 3 rounds consecutively, they run this back.
Yeah, Bleed not having much, but still able to keep it pretty close. Saw multiple sheriffs. We did see Ye commit to the showstopper as well. And yeah, you're on just winning the game of Ring Around the Rosie at the end of the day. Just come around elbow and takes him down. So now we are going to have a full buy from the side of Bleed, and I'm curious to see if ZETA can, you know, win a clean round against a full buy from them. Not a lot of ults available at the moment.
That's 0 points. It's a big catch from Darion, though. New players. Still early days, and ZETA haven't played the map, so overall it's not going to get you too much information. Now Ye playing forward once again, op in hand. Peeking into B main. ZETA, and they have dealt with this before, but do they have the read that he's got it once again? They do. Likely to see a curveball here on this corner, but as he continues to push up, Ye gets rid of Sugar Zero, and he gets out scot-free. Paint Shell's the further delay. They cannot push in to try to find him. Quite costly here for the side of Zeta Division.
Yeah, that was a pretty slick, close operator shot there from the side of VA. Gets that alive, as you mentioned, and it's going to kind of force the hand of Zeta now, maybe to move over towards this A site, which is heavily defended by the side of Bleed. Keep in mind, I mean, the A is really the only one on B, so they've got a lot of their forces, tripwires, utility over on A. Push looking to come in from the side of Depth.
30 seconds left.
Ball not getting a lot of value here.
They get sent. They need to try to get themselves onto this site. Laz is in a decent backstab position as he hear the footsteps coming through. Gets the catch there on the Scary, but right now, rest of Bleed have their attention paid here on the site itself. Zest watching around the back. He'll be able to take out Laz, pivots instantly to get rid of Hiradon. And that'll be it. Zest, absolutely monstrous round from him. Picking up 3 and getting Bleed back into a brief little lead.
Yeah, had a great last round, even though it was a loss, you know, hitting a couple of Sheriff headshots. This is the first hit from Ye. And then boom, immediate readjustment. Once again, lines it up 3 in a row from Zest. And it was kind of rough too because he was watching that angle, but his teammate actually died first to Laz, and so maybe felt a bit unfortunate, but he was playing it very sharp. Eventually he does get the kill, and they don't expect him there in that corner, so he gets so much value. Important that he hit those shots, though, otherwise might have been a cleanup from Zeta.
Quarter force surrounded by Sheriffs here. Depth one off of a run it back, but that with a Sheriff not exactly going to be the best value that you could get out of the ultimate, so likely we'll see that one held unless they can get a weapon recovered.
Here.
Very forward trap wire will get cleared out.
Are we going A? Laz has been pretty successful, I feel like, on the chamber, all things considered.
Positive KD. I mean, it hasn't been, you know, a huge dominating performance on that chamber like we have seen from him in the past, but he's still very consistent in his shots.
Revealing ends.
Okay, Recon, start things off. Finding a few, and Retla Flame landing right at his feet, and oh, the timing on that curveball is absolutely gorgeous. Last, whipping the shot, says he'll find 1, but does take a nasty bit of damage. 23 HP remaining for him. The Thrash available for the retake as they look to get clustered up. Jeff, in the meantime, pushing forward with that run it back, looking to see if he can find anything else.
Yeah, at the very least, we'll be able to delay the push from coming on in, and it's going to be up to this picked up Thrash.
Oh.
Depp in a little bit of a rough spot there behind, and he will be taken out. Paranoialis coming up, but Sugar Zero up top here.
Oh,
Look at the team being straight into Darian.
He's pushed right into it. And Hiradon dead. Darian with a huge round 3 for himself. Minimal damage taken, op recovered, spike diffused. Bleed now moving up to 6 in the half. Was a decent idea. I like the start of that. The util dump just flush out. Redla at the very beginning was gorgeous. Timing was on point, but Zest spotting, Laz whipping that shot. It does start to unravel the whole thing. And I mean, Darian happened to be in the right place at the right time, it would seem.
That has been the only comms we have heard from this team so far. Nice, good job. That's all you got to say. Just keep your head above water.
That's what works. That's what works. Here's the question, though. Hiradon, I feel like he's had this Hunter's Fury pretty much all game. Is he going to use it?
It's been a bit quiet. Hasn't really found good timing for it, I guess. Definitely a bit unfortunate. But now maybe a push here from Zeta towards B. Certainly mixing up the strategies and the push timings.
As much as they can. Drone not going to get the spot onto anyone. Cyber Cage now coming up. Kalian with that wide left swing. Finds Yudan. Going to be Viper down. He's at 3 HP himself. Ult pops, so would be resible. Yudan trying to take some space here. An off shot from Laz. Will be able to find 1. Retla now swinging it out. Gets a dink on the Laz. Swing onto the corner. Sugar Zero puts him down. Spares his teammate. The plant can now come through. Out there from Laz. Zest arriving, spotting one, spotting the other, is able to get the kill.
This guy.
And HP bars, they are dangerously low. They're able to finally bleed out. Depp getting dizzied. Tries to stave them off even further here as the Mosh going to be coming through, but it's a little bit shallow. Big man sprinting forward, won't be able to get the daze. Scary's going to have to wrap around the backside of sight.
Last 5 health. As they're just going to try to hold it with the smoke up.
But the
He's going
sprays
to hold it.
haven't really been great for them so far. He's holding for the defuse, but okay. He can push out of the smoke to be able to confirm the kill. 6-5. Chance for yet another 6-6 half. As we've had 2 so far today. See if ZETA are going to be able to continue to bring this one back. Well, players here on the side of Bleed low on cash, so we see a Spectre thrown into the mix here. Be able to have an operator, so see what damage they're able to do coming into this one.
Yeah, this has been a, kind of funnily enough, pretty back and forth match so far. Like, Bleed started off really strong, but then eventually, you know, one timeout called, and that's kind of all ZETA needed to get right back into the game. And we'll be curious to see if they do actually tie this one up, make it 6-6, and actually pick up this victory. As put it on here, as you mean, just trying to clear everything up that he can, but
Poison's off.
just the one trap wire back on the site right now for the side of Retla, who has been holding down the speed site very nicely by himself. Bit of push out here from the side of Yang, gonna be able to spot him, and then they just back away. Not gonna overstay their welcome so far.
Holds onto that util. Paint shells was like he was gonna send it there for a brief little moment. Get it on, tag down to 83, now armorless. As Depp gets ready to try to go for the entry. Back pillar though for Retla. Avoiding that flash, avoiding that snake bite. Drop down scary, setting that paranoia, crashes across 2 players. One with line of sight though, so can't find a full punch. Depp, attention being turned either which way. He's managing to find one. Sugar Zero on the opposite side. Takes out Retla. Now a 3v3 with HP bars. Been shattered here on the side of ZETA. TP from Sugar Zero. Just gets himself back into B main. Laz on the peak. Towards market, sees nothing. Smoke comes down. Opposite TP up on top, so you can try to see over as a smoke. Let's see if it's going to be rewarded here. Tap on the spike. Hunter's Fury now finally being used. Hit it on, trying to save them off. Another smoke now. Forcing Laz to eventually have to drop off of this, you would suspect. Yeah, you going for the hold. There's the drop down. Laz good for the shot. Zest dead at the same time. Now all on Scary. It's been a clutch shot in the past, but just does not have the time for this one here. Sugar Zero will pick up 3 here in the round as ZETA ties things up 6-6.
Yeah, pretty solid round there at the end from ZETA. They get in onto the B site, get the plant down, and then essentially Laz and the Hunter's Fury that you mentioned finally gets used there. And it is to a pretty successful effect as they do get that last round, essentially just holding on to the spike. So, Bleed, they started off strong, but eventually just kind of fell to the wayside. I do wonder if they got into their heads a little bit there with ZETA coming back, because it didn't quite look the same at the end of the half as they did at the beginning.
A big question for ZETA is going to be, how does this comp continue to look as they move over onto that defender side? As last time out, it was certainly quite rough.
Yeah,
work cut out for them here. That was a solid amount of research and prep done from the side of Team Secret to be able to really dismantle that defensive side.
A lot of fans here, obviously, for ZETA, hoping for their victory tonight. And I believe all of our predictions did go towards ZETA division.
Yeah, it was pretty unanimous.
I think,
I think understandably.
It makes sense, yeah. ZETA did go down to Team Secret, but still, Bleed not quite able to show as much as we have seen out of ZETA, especially from their first win that we did see. They looked quite strong there. So let's see how Bleed looks here on the attack. The A so far sitting at the bottom, but maybe able to turn things around here, playing the duelist from the attacker side. Maybe they can get some W key going.
Well, weren't able to find that opening pistol round. Let's see if they can do so here now. Bleed will go 2-0 in that regard. Quick push forward, and Laz, he says sit down. Headshot comes across, get it on across the opposite side of the map, able to find Scary as reload has to come in. Yoron just trying to hold in the corner. Shots across, Darian loses out on the fight. And that leaves now just Zest all on his lonesome. Finds 2. Those are low HP members, though. Needs everything from here to be damn clean. Would have to be perfection. Can't quite make it happen. Zest will take him down. ZETA will take the lead. They tie things up 1-1 in pistols.
Yeah, I really feel like Zest is trying so hard to carry this one right now. Like, the last 5 or 6 rounds have been him popping off in a huge way, either to wins or, unfortunately, mostly defeats. Laz was so crisp on that shot, and then eventually they just get on top of the site on time, and it's enough defense with the manpower to take it down. A big nice there, as they will take their pistol round this time.
Laz straight in with the outlaw. Solo here on B. 0 point checks close. No one going to be noted. Looked like they were very much expecting a bit of a trap. Is okay. Well,
I guess
I'm going to grab an orb. Nope.
Yeah, that was a bit optimistic. Maybe feeling himself a little bit. He is having a good map so far.
Trying to regain some.
Bang, kenapa kamu
there.
graduate dari Jaya
Get
Esport?
punished. Solid opening kill, and that does force bleed now. Back across to the opposite side
Itu
of the
cuma
map.
bercandaan aja
Sugar Zero and
kok.
Depp are in fairly committed positions. A Bulldog and
Karena
goes
ini
between
aja
them, so
kalah.
should be okay, but
Kalah by 1,
should
by
believe be able to
Palo.
overwhelm them. It's going to be quite costly. As Gay, okay, going to be taken down. Sugar Zero,
Gimmick
minus
sebenarnya
3,
itu.
full flash. Gary can't push in off the back.
By the way, halo,
A
Bon
fourth
Slide.
grenade for Sugar Zero. As ZETA will get a flawless anti-eco.
Yeah, good stuff there. Just lining it up, feeling the pressure, hitting the shots from Sugar Zero. Picks up a 4K for himself. Is now on top. And should be feeling pretty good as we'll take another look here once again. Just running straight into the crosshair of Laz, and then trying to make an entry happen was Ye, but was optimistic as well.
Unluckily, he saw that last player right before.
Oh, aslinya
that
masih
curveball
member
came in.
Jaya
It was a
Esport,
team
Bang.
flash, but
Yes.
3K looks nice, but okay, Yuran playing forward, take it down, Yay up over the top.
Graduate itu
Quite
karena
see
ini
exactly how
aja,
this one
karena
transpired in the setup,
kalah
but
aja main
either
Valo.
way, that is a very solid
by
beginning
1.
to this round here for Bleed, as they very much would not like for ZETA to convert
Sebenarnya
the bonus.
X.
Stacked up. Now just Laz on this side of the map. He's got that rendezvous to bring him back over into the site proper, but could be quickly somewhat
By the way, welcome, Bon
Tries to go for a bit
Slide.
of a timing shot as it is. He does connect. Has to back away. Now rotation starting here for ZETA.
Emang
Yeah, they're
kenapa?
coming quick. I like this. Just reading the situation with him so far forward. He's probably going to be the only one here, and that he was the plant coming in from the wingman. And it's just going to have to be a straight-up retake here from the side of ZETA, but they're already down Euron.
Mantap, Bang. Aku
And
turut
this
bahagia.
is pretty difficult. I mean, they have a stinger, a couple of bulldogs.
Ex-member
Push
aja
out of backside,
sebenarnya.
but look at this. Looks like they
Belum
will have their attention turned back
ex-member
into the site
banget lah.
properly, though, as Paranoia not able to connect onto anybody. Hero swinging through, finds one before getting taken down. And Depp will only be able to get Retla there. So 3 members left alive. Overall, not too bad here for the side of Bleed, as they will be able to answer back around. Keep things neck and neck, just about.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. Looks like Laz is going to go straight for that operator now on the chamber. Of
Kenapa
course,
kamu
so
tahu?
let's take another look at how this happened from Ye.
Oh, just, yeah, right before the wall
One
goes
slime.
up. Good on trying to find the timing. Just not ready for, just go blast packing in.
Let's go.
Very solid catch. That hurts them very much in the follow-up of that round. But now, full rifle v rifle operator in the hands of Laz, but a thrash built up for Zest. That was just going to be taking this orb, trying to get that run it back online. So Sugar Zero will hang back to watch main. Sets up another smoke there.
Salah paham aja itu, mah.
Lead for now, just assessing where they want to go, but ultimately they are drifting back over towards this A site.
Yeah, this time not just
Tahu loh
The
guys,
chamber.
Bon Slime.
mixing up with the position, but Depp is pretty far forward here. Perhaps an
Tahu Bang, gue
unexpected
suka
angle.
nontonin channel Bang Mik.
See out,
Oh,
does get the blind. Purple at the ready,
suka
looks for the catch, is able to find
ini.
one. Pocket now
Nonton
thrown in to try to slow
channelnya
one.
Bang
Zero
Mik.
eventually he is able to find one, but now Depp going to be taken down. Had built up that run it back, but does not opt to use it. Ends up getting taken
Terus
out.
selain Bang Mik, lu
Throw
suka
up on
nonton
the
siapa
crash.
lagi? Yang member Jaya.
Will be recoverable. Now a 3v3. Laz getting ready to make his way around towards backside.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds left in this
Sebenarnya
round.
berat
10
juga,
seconds,
Cok.
about 8 now.
Kalau
Until that
harus
Thrash is back
graduate.
available, he's possessed.
Gara-gara kalah
Just waiting
by
for
one
them to
main
actually
Valo,
push into
Cok.
the site, it looks like.
There it is.
Thrash to clear it out.
It's around, Laz. Himself situated up on top of the box. The plant now getting ready to come through, but Zest going to be taken down. Swing out of the corner.
Last
Redla
player standing.
able to find
Spike
2 kills,
planted.
3 overall in the round. Suddenly, Laz is on his lonesome. 0 point does not connect. Knows roughly where one of them is going to be at. Swinging on the corner, spots the shoulder, finds a shot, but now around the backside is Darion. Does Laz read this at all so far? It looks like the answer is going to be no. Darion will be able to put him down. We are tied up, 8-8. Bleed, keeping it close.
Yeah, I really don't
Bonbon
know who's
Slime.
going to win this
Jangan lupa
one at this
subscribe,
point.
ini
I mean,
channel
that's a
gua.
couple of really solid rounds from the side of Bleed. You know, some trickery from EA, the previous one, and this one just kind of straight up. It looked good initially for the side of ZETA, but then eventually they just kind of got cleaned up here, not really hitting their shots to deny this push, and then the double thrash coming through and an eventual wraparound from Darion. And that is going to spark ZETA's second timeout. I'd say not too surprisingly. A couple of rounds going the way of Bleed.
Yep, pulled the first one. They were down 1-3. Now that they find themselves tied up after a decent start here in the second half. They just want to reaffirm what the game plan is going to be here for this defender side. So far, things getting away from them. You can tell the players not really thinking about all the possibilities, these rotations, Darion just being able to swing all the way out around through backside to be able to get that final kill. Things like that need to be reinforced in the players' minds.
Udah subscribe gua, Bang. Mantap.
See if it works though.
Yeah, so they're not going to have any more timeouts. Bleed, if they ever lose control from here, they could always take a timeout or two to just try to reconsider their
Selain Bang
options.
Mik, lu suka nonton
But
siapa
so far,
lagi?
their attacking side has looked pretty good.
Yang
I
Jaya
wouldn't say it's
Esport
overwhelmingly
atau
dominant like we saw at
luar
T1
Jaya
earlier
Esport?
today. But so far, a pretty close match between these two squads. As now, perhaps a bit more aggressive from the side of Bleed as they're going to set a bomb buddy and everybody into
Ya
B main.
kali nggak
Working
subscribe
their way
Lord
through B,
Izza.
but Zeta getting a
Mantap.
decent amount of information.
Betul,
Smoke.
Bonbon Slime.
They
Kelas.
can't push too much further outside of A. 0 point in, Lance just going to be rotating around the back. 8 headhunter bullets to try to make use of as for now. It's up on top of the box. Ooh, that quick little peek. Did Ye not notice? Didn't see that crosshair move up, so either didn't notice or wasn't too bothered by what he had seen there from Laz. As the
Nanti
push
lo
in,
tolong
full flash
ini ya,
out.
bantu
Shots coming through.
apa
It's gonna be
namanya?
scary finding him. And his Hirodon and Yoran also
Promosiin.
fall to the wayside. Dep now
Muat
trying to rotate
maksudnya.
around in towards mid, but market door has been shut. So as far as ambiguity about their positioning is considered, this is just going to be more time bought as they have to rotate around to Boba. And look at the stack.
Just trying to get in position to potentially die to this one, but I don't know if they will. Looks like they will as everybody on the side of Bleed.
Yeah, it's
Just
going to be
gonna
back
hop away.
Still cautious about a potential flank from behind. Will ultimately just be Dep and Sugar Zero getting ready to go down to the spike. So similar scenes to what we had witnessed in the first half. Timeout called, going into a bit more of a a thrifty attempt. Now with the weapons coming in, this is where we should see the real game strategy.
Yeah, I like how Bleed, they had to go against pretty much no firepower, but they still went in really quickly, just trying to say, okay, we're maintaining control, we want to be dominant, we don't want to waste any time with this one, we want to string more wins together and maintain a mental advantage, so, just pretty clean, straight up push on a B, and they make quick work of it. Now ZETA, let's see if they have some preparation here for this one.
Ult popped from Laz, creeping forward, taking some space, and with the Dizzy going out, it's going to be Bleed backing away.
Selain
Nice
Bang
spray
Mik,
here from Yoran, but not going to be able to see anything. No connections made either.
Dep is here pretty close to this B main, and he's seeing a lot of things being thrown in, so might be getting a good read that this is happening. Now we're going to push on through a Poison Orbs.
This would be very bold without the run it back, but does decide to send it, but it's only going to be good for one. Yoran, however, collapsing through, finds two as the Sugar Zero a triple swing in the end. And that is going to be ZETA winning out. And I'd say probably the cleanest round
Oh ya,
victory that
Bon
they've had
Slime,
so far here on the map. to
Sosial
retire
media
to
gua
9-9.
ada di
Yeah, I mean,
deskripsi
at the
ya.
end of the day, it was a very similar setup to the last round. Depp was there alongside of his teammates, just ready, feeling the pressure, and reading the situation very nicely. Nobody really was able to avoid that one curveball that just flashed pretty much everybody. I think, you know, maybe A looked away, picked up one kill. But, yeah, with 5
Bang,
people
VGA-nya
stacked, the
pakai
majority of
apa?
them mostly flashed. You're not really going to win if 2 or 3 people are able to peek that corner
Ini
immediately.
pakai
Whereas
yang
now, Laz,
GeForce RTX 3060 Ti.
Watching that left-hand side, but okay, does make his exit. Yeah, not going to swing. Had he done so when he was scoped in, it would have just been the freest kill of his life. Looks like they're just going to be trading some places here. Just hit it on, or at least going to be joining in to maybe reinforce that top mid position for them. Bot out onto the B
By
site.
the way, hello,
Thinking about
Salmenfi.
sending the bite, but see anything else. As Bleed just going to be ushering that spike back across over towards A. Footsteps being heard.
Cover going out.
There's Dizzy up over the top. Do manage to clear it out.
Flashbang.
Hello, clear it out for a flash on in as well, but they are not committing to this push at all. We do see Laz still hanging around in mid, trying to see what he can see. Not going to see much, as everybody from the side of Bleed is rotating over towards B, and so is ZETA. So everybody kind of reading the play at this point in time, but I feel like Bleed might not expect
30
this many
seconds left.
Good
Good timing on the smoke there from Sugar Zero. Another bite at the ready. Sees the cyber cage thrown in. Bite goes down. Good on able to collect the kill.
Emang
Doesn't get
kenapa?
Dizzy though. The real coming in. Yay. For one more. Pivot there from depth, but snap back. Finds one. Skitterone. Cleans up 2 on the back end. And that is going to be another very solid round here from ZETA Division. Only losing out on 1 player once again. They maintained the op. And all he really had to use for that one was Omen TP as well as a run it back.
Yeah, you're on great read as well, and Sugar Zero shooting over the top. Everybody's just lining them up, and really it just comes down to the fantastic read that ZETA had. Rotation came in perfectly on time, and Bleed kind of just ran straight at them. And yeah, and if you were going to win every single firefight and outgun them, then sure, but...
Look at the read here as well from ZETA. 4-man stack up.
Kalau yang
on this
curhatan
side. Paranoia off the
soal
rip. Disconnect onto a
Eterna
few different players
itu
here.
real banget
No command now,
atau
going to be
gimmick
pulsing
bang?
out. Showstopper at the ready from Yay.
Sebenarnya
able to find Pound One.
apa namanya?
Oh my god! Last kills Yay, but Sugar Hero has arrived.
Itu real.
Replay, please.
Yeah, well, Sugar Zero has entered the lobby. Sugar Hero, I should say. This guy, 22 and 11.
This is the best performance he's
How do you
had
do
in a
this?
very long time right now.
1,
2. Okay. They just all peeked right into him.
and just don't miss.
Unreal. Okay, well, that is going to be enough to force out the first time out here from Bleed. And ZETA in a nice advantageous position, just 1 round away from taking this up to map point. See how they fare coming out of this one.
Yellow
I mean,
kelas
ZETA
sih.
getting the leads on them in the last couple of rounds, and it feels like everybody's truly warmed up, especially Sugar Zero, and just able to line them
Emang
all
kalau
up. And
gimmick
I feel like
kenapa?
Bleed maybe just rushing things a little bit. I think this is a good time to take a timeout and say, okay, well, you're going for these set plays. They're reading you like a book. You just need to do
Itu
something
cuma
different.
lucu-lucuan
They also
aja
just-
ceritanya.
You know,
Cuma
they invested ultimates on that one. The null command was sent. The showstopper was pulled out. You know, several things were invested there from the side of Bleed, and it was just shut down in the blink of an eye. Absolutely fantastic there from Sugar Zero, who's just been having a whale of a time. 22, 11, and 9. Huge performance from him so far, but still, 3 other ults available for Bleed. Pearl Theft as well as that Thrash ready to go, but Hunter's Fury and Pit could give them a bit of a hard time.
Revealing area.
What is Bleed going to send into this one? They do all have, well, most of them have Vandals, and the majority of their utilities set up and bought, at least. And now just kind of hanging around mid. Tiles. Do have Laz looking in this direction.
Quick jiggle peek from Ye, but otherwise, not playing too far forward.
Tahu lagi nih soal
Watching on the corner here.
curhatan.
Sugar Zero
Sama Bagi
ready for the
sa
crossfire.
fighter na one slide.
Sets up the one way, but there's the Thrash out, flash over the top, and already that Thrash has been cleaned up. Dizzy will get the blind onto one, but for the most part, they've been held at bay, and the Thrash is not in a super recoverable position for Zest.
So they sent all the Gecko util, and they are going to finally peek out of this one. Curveball going to delay this, a couple of curveballs even, and they will not be allowed through this corridor.
Paranoia Pain Shell sent just to be able to recover that Thrash. That backs away. To pull out that Cypher Dart. And it looks like for now,
30
call from
seconds
Bleed
left.
is going to be just cut noise. Let's continue advancing forward. Smoke comes down though. Now position reinforced as Laz staring down the opposite side, but it looks like an elbow approach for everybody here.
Uh-oh.
Getting ready to collide in with the two players. Can't back up fast enough, but Sugar Zero already takes out two. Depp finds himself another one. That's going to be the man advantage here. Widely for the side of ZETA. Laz lurking within the smoke, shorty in hand. Hunter's Fury going across, and yep, Darian was just so damn low. That's it. One pump of the ult, and the round victory comes through. Nothing else that Scary can do but die, apparently. I thought he was going to say tucked away, but Laz takes absolutely everything away from Bleed's hands. 12-9, ZETA get themselves up to map point.
I was really worried about Bleed pushing through elbow straight into Sugar Zero, who is currently the MVP of this map. They're going to take another timeout.
I mean, there's no reason to not
Might as
do
well.
it, but I feel like I haven't seen Sugar Zero having this kind of impact, this level of just him being pumped up on stage in a damn long while. I think maybe not even in the LCQ last year where they qualified for champions was he this energetic. He is having a huge performance.
I can't believe it. Yeah, I mean, he has really stepped it up when they needed it most. The map was mostly close until he decided to play like a monster. And now, it's Bleed with their backs against the wall. 3 rounds in a row they have to get. And the last timeout didn't really help them. Now they're going to have to buy up whatever they can, and I don't think it's going to be much after losing 4 rounds in a row.
The 3-round run back here for Bleed isn't going to be possible. We shall see, but I mean, this is their map pick, you know. They were able to watch ZETA play this twice, saw them dismantle Global, saw them get dismantled by Team Secret. It's all something that they thought that they could exploit.
They have 1 Phantom. Besides that, a lot of utility indexed into.
Guardians, 2 Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Phantom, I think rightfully in the hands of Zest, has been the regularly impactful player right now in this map, which to his own right is a solid level up because that Gecko, it's been looking more and more consistent, more and more impactful as time has gone on. But look at Laz. He's holding this line. No one anywhere near him at the moment. Let's see what kind of info he can gain. Got wire around the corner, so we can't really overextend from here. You would necessarily want to, given that the rendezvous is already preset. And a very solid, firm line to try to play here.
It's just waiting for them. And it does look like Bleed is going to come this direction. How much value can he pick up?
Are they ready for this exact position? Dizzy over the top, free little flash, but as Jay swings out, he does get taken down. Laz able to find the opening kill. Rallying call now sent out by him. As ZETA gets ready to start swooping across the map. Bretla though, position to try to go for a huge backstab, a huge flank, but there is a trademark set up. Looks like Yoran will get caught. That's going to be the neural dump now coming in. As the reveal ping does come in. Spike planted. Bleed now widely exiting the site. Curveball through, and now Darian just holding down. Able to find the headshot. Depp taken out, and it looks like Bleed might just yet be able to extend this one. Smoke thrown in. Tap onto the spike. Darian spraying, but hit it on. Comes out, he finds 2. Darian and Zest both picked apart. Looks for a little bit more, and he will have it. Hit it on. Stands his ground. A rough start for him.
Guys.
A star-studded finish. As ZETA Division will take away Bleed's map pick of Sunset in a somewhat, I was going to say dominant fashion. There was some wonkiness there. The rounds early on, not clean, but the ending, it all came together.
Took them a while to get online, but eventually 5 rounds in a row. Hitoron stepping up, and the entire team on the backs of Sugar Zero as well. We are done here for map 1. Let's go back to the analyst desk to break that one down.
Breaking it down, I think Sugar Zero had enough of the back and forth, and he was like, I'm going to take it in my own hands. I'm going to activate Sugar Hero mode and just mow down everyone and finish this first map of Sunset, which was Bleed's pick.
Yes, that's exactly true. And I like it that he's back, because we've had a couple moments where we had a couple rounds where it's like, oh, that's a Sugar Hero round, but we didn't have any Sugar Hero games yet. But on this Sunset, like, this was absolute domination by Sugar Zero himself.
Yeah, he was just on it. And this was super important because we were seeing how at the start of this game, it felt like Depp wasn't, you know, kind of how we saw him on Sunset last time when he was just charging in, getting those super aggressive corner peeks with the Phoenix. It felt like it wasn't really coming into play, maybe just because of how well the preparation was for Bleed, but definitely Sugar Zero here going hero mode was absolutely important here for Zeta to clutch out these rounds, considering how close this match was up until that very last moment.
Yeah, I mean, very back and forth. And what you noted on Astra, I think, also comes from the fact that obviously Zeta, they had a great showing against GE where there was basically no opposition. It caught them by surprise. But then afterwards, they realized their composition started to get read a little bit. And it seemed today that caused a lot of hesitation, right? Which made Zeta maybe not as active on the attacking side, but also credit where credit is due. Bleed is starting to look like a team again. They're starting to play off of their own util. They're starting to set up for each other a little bit. They're starting to cover for each other, things like that. So that's promising for Bleed. But what do you do when the opponent Omen is 24-12 in KD? I mean, 2.0 without any assists, that is insane.
I mean, they did promise Yordan that they'd win. That was his birthday wish.
That's true.
It's just unfortunate for Bleed. They were so much better this game. And Zeta had, the first time they showed this map, it was pretty good. So Bleed definitely thought this through and had something prepared for them today.
It seems like the things that we were talking about, how this were like Bleed's weak points when we saw them in the previous series, right? Where Retla wasn't coming online, he's answered that back. He was playing an op on his Cypher here, getting kills. Setups were much, much better. We're talking about how Zest, where he struggles on the Gecko, no longer. Setups are quick. He's able to get those multi-kills once again. So all these pieces that were a lot unsure for Bleed definitely got that certainty coming into this map. Sure, it's a loss, but it's a more convincing performance output here from Bleed that we have seen from, again, their past matches.
Yeah, and I don't think it's anything too crazy, but obviously since both teams haven't been looking too hot in stage 1 so far, what was also promising is both of them showed that they have a very good understanding of the basics of Sunset, right? That A site, how you want to control it. If you're going to go for retakes, how far back do you need to hold it? B site, how hard is it if you let the site get taken for free? And how do you use that to condition your opponents when you're on the defense? This came out from both teams, but at the end of the day, Zeta Division picking up the momentum just a bit earlier thanks to Sugar Zero, but also a couple of the moves from the rookies as well.
Now what's pretty wild is that I still wouldn't know who would win Ascent. Yes, it's Zeta's pick, and yes, they are generally okay on Ascent, but they've also really toed that line even since last year.
Yes, it's always a very close game on Ascent for Zeta Division. Granted, yes, they generally seem pretty good on it if we look all the way back to 2023, but they play the standard composition, obviously quite reliant on Depp being able to perform some heroics as well, with the things like the op, etc., etc. Now, Bleed, we haven't seen Ascent, so, I mean, I have to assume we're going to see the meta composition, but who knows?
Yeah, my assumption here for Bleed specifically was, well, one of my talking points was, one of their weak points right now is that they feel unsure. So maybe having a map like Ascent that really relies on your surety on how you kind of execute on those sites. We're talking about how Depp, that might be a problem for them. But if we look at how, much more cohesive their Sunset is, how much more intact they have been with their plays, it could be a much more brighter looking Ascent here for Bleed.
And also, obviously, Ascent, just absolute home ground for Zest. right? Used to play Initiator a lot on this map back in the days with DRX. So again, not knowing exactly how the comms work, but surely Zest has some really good timers just built in internally where he can get very good reads even passively on the map for his teammates.
Yeah, I think this is going to be set up to be a very exciting map too. It could definitely go into a full series today in map 3. I know our predictions all said Zeta division, but even so, I mean, you guys wouldn't be surprised, right? Going into map 3.
I mean, this could be a map where Ye might bring out the check.
No.
Operator.
I don't know on that.
Okay.
That should be our guessing game question.
I am going to say, I would be surprised. I mean, I'll just own it. I would be surprised. Bleed looked absolutely lost, right, up until this match. But now, okay, having seen map 1, yes, I agree. It could very well go to a map 3.
Now, what I am also unsure about is this next guessing game question. Did you research this one, Will?
Yes. Well, we actually
What
had the
a
research
nerd.
somewhat done for us yesterday, right? Because
That's
yesterday we
true.
took a look at post-timeout round win rates from all the teams. But basically, this question, I believe, is asking whoever calls the timeout, like, who's winning the round after that here in this map.
I don't know. It's like I'm really wanting to get into Immortals, so there's so much tension in me right now.
I just want everyone to
I don't
know.
want to lose.
Both these teams have a pretty bad round win rate after
Yeah.
timeouts
Yeah.
on their own.
Is that
So-
on their own timeout?
yeah, so the real question might be, who's calling the first timeout? Because maybe their opponents
Yes.
are winning after that one.
Exactly. All right, so
All right.
most of the audience has chosen
Oh,
Zeta. Actually, I'm curious. Will, why don't you go first?
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna make you go first this time.
Okay.
All right, I didn't
Alright.
see
Show
what I
us
picked.
what you got.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
It's Bleed. Interesting. Okay.
Let's bleed.
No.
Oh, make your case.
Why?
I was actually gonna pick Zeta with
No,
the
I
audience.
What is this?
No matter what, I want to separate. Okay, here's my case. Zeta obviously played a lot more with their current core, with their team on Ascend. It's home ground for them. So I think what's going to happen is Bleed is going to push them at some point, and Zeta's going to be forced to take a timeout, and then Bleed's still going to win the round right after. That's my case. I think Zeta's calling the first time out, but Bleed's going to win the round right after.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Asterai, why?
It's kind of something similar to that. I feel like the first kill is going to go towards Zeta, but then they can't really find a follow-up advantage over that. So Bleed kind of recompose themselves, win that round after the timeout. So that's kind of what's going in my thought process here. Considering what we've seen from Sunset,
That's an interesting
I don't
case.
like how we're the same answer. Like
No,
literally,
That's an interesting
don't.
I
case.
didn't even see that you picked it up, and I was like already getting my.
I really don't.
But I'm not convinced of your rationale.
What's even crazier is you're also still with the viewers. That's
Yeah.
also insane.
I wasn't convinced.
We just all
Clearly
can't be
neither are the
separated.
viewers. So, all right, wingman, my little wingman. This is our time to shine, to up rank.
You know
I mean,
what?
this is a tough one.
After this
It's
one, there's 3 days of me not being able, or 4 days of me not being able to get back
Yeah,
on that board.
me too. It'll be a while, so this is really gonna matter. The viewers get to play every day, so they are the lucky ones here. We are gonna go to the Asian picks now. We are definitely curious what Bleed's got up their sleeve, and I've just heard Clove is finally going to be coming into the mix very soon as well. So,
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that.
Fun.
We were trying to. That should be the next guessing game. Which team will play Clove first?
Oh, yeah.
And here we go. We got mirror matchups.
Yeah, no big surprise here. I figured Bleed would go with the stock standard. Obviously, that allows several of these members, the core members, to play on comfort roles. My eyes are going to be on Darion, right? A lot of Ascent nowadays has become how well does a KO set up for the Jet, right? You have so many clever ways you can throw those flash drives to really set up for the retakes, for the executes. So is that combo there? Is the timing locked down for them? And obviously, the Killjoys always, they have a kind of their work cut out for them in terms of the anchoring.
Well, my eyes real quickly are on Ye. If he brings out the operator, how effective can he really be on that starting defending side?
I'm all about the Sovas, and you're right, William. Seeing Zest back in on Ascent on the Sova, it's just, I don't know, it just brings back memories. I expect a good showing here from both of these teams. We're going to go to the second map for today.
Alrighty, thank you guys for breaking down the action from that opening map. Now, we go into Ascent, Zeta's old and consistent stomping ground. See if they are going to be able to close this out with a 2-0 or if Bleed can get themselves a map win and extend this over towards Lotus.
Well, Zeta are going to have to start here on the attacker side, so maybe an opportunity for the side of Bleed Esports to get some kind of advantage, but it is going to take a lot, I'd say, especially with this being huge comfort for the side of ZETA. As already, Ye trying to hit those long-range Sheriff shots, not going to work out, but now through the smoke, Redla picks up 3, just like that.
Well, that's just astounding there as he hit it on. Just get paranoid, but
Last
not
player
necessarily
standing.
noted, but also can't find the shot. Yunat now on his lonesome, will get taken down. Quick headshot there from Redla to get the 4K, as Bleed will pick up their second pistol of the series.
So how exactly did he line this one up? I wanna see
Very carefully.
how he did that. Because I swear I only heard 2 bullets, but he had 3 kills, right? So,
Looks like you're, oh, okay, never mind. I was gonna say, you're not gonna find out, but we will. Oh,
yeah.
yeah, 1-2. Nice little collat there on a Sugar Zero. Very clean from Redla. And similar, we saw, you know, his impact at the beginning there on Sunset as well. It's been a very good day for him overall, all things considered.
I feel like he could hardly believe it based on his facial expression. He's like, whoa, how did that happen? Just right place, right time. You got to create your own luck. And the shots rang true. Good job from him. As you mentioned, as now, a little push coming in from ZETA towards A main. Leader ready for this one.
Nade there on to Scarab, trying to flush him out. Well, flush him out they have, but he's coming up with some kills. Them dropping down, noted, spotted,
Last player standing.
killed off. As Laz is going to be the last one standing. No one peeking for him. He'll make noises, drops down.
Flawless.
And Zest is ADS'd in. Go ahead and get the last one. Flawless anti-eco here from the side of Bleed. Off on the right foot.
Yeah, good stuff. Cleaning that one up very easily. Only 2 kills so far going the way of ZETA Division. As we'll take another look here at how it happened. Scary just throws the paranoia forward. Once he's in a little bit of a dangerous spot, sets it up for the team. And then Zest with the cap on top.
Placing swarm grenade.
Laughter and smiles there out of him. It was looking like he was absolutely dead to rights once that fragment landed at his feet and whined, but
Scanning ahead.
quite a many few eliminations there. Okay, here's a rush for it. Yay, trying to get a bit of a tiles crunch going, but Laz does manage to shut it down while backpedaling.
Gun here.
And not quite able to get that one going. Looks like they do want to pick up that Bulldog, and that they will. So they'll have that for themselves at least, but it's still going to be 5-4. But Sugar Zero gonna hit that shot. Saw the second, takes him out as well.
He knew. Like, you're not going to just come swinging out of A main by yourself. I know that there's somebody else there. Waits patiently. Redla swinging and say, okay, maybe he's backing away. Maybe I can catch him on the retreat. It's very cleanly done here. Once more from Sugar Zero. As ZETA, 5v2, being able to get a flawless or a near flawless win in this 3rd round would be a very big boon for them.
So
See
far,
what Darion can do, though. He's got that outlaw in hand.
yeah, it's looking pretty likely at the moment as they're, well, okay.
Last player
Darion
standing.
does hit the headshot onto Depp here. Takes him down, but this is an open A
30
site.
seconds left.
And Scary is going to be looking to go on in and try to pull off a miracle because he's not going to be backing off of this one with a
Planted.
Bulldog. So let's see what he can do as he is pushing up here in the rafters. About to be cornered into about a bajillion people approximately. And he does get taken out. Sugar Zero, 3 kills on the round. Got the 2 outside of A. And then just cap it off with that one.
All right, well, now we go into the proper rifle v rifle round. And this was just very nicely done from Sugar Zero. The 3 adjusts. Basically just knew exactly how far Redla was even going to swing out. He had the crosshair perfectly aligned. Got himself a 3rd there at the very end of the round. So, now move forward into this one. Operator in the hands of Ye, but it's going to be glass cannon, so potential for punishment. See what kind of value you can get. As for now, just going to be a smoke down. Maybe a delayed peek in towards mid. This drone will escort forward, and okay, Ye peeking out. Nice timing, catches depth.
And he's just going to run out of there. After getting that value, they have a very nice setup already on B and some pushing out of tree from the side of Bleed. Let's see if Darion is actually going to throw this flash. He's got it in hand, and there are a couple of members right now who are about to peek around this corner. Scary here with him as well. There is the pop flash. That is going to delay this push, but very low right now is Darion. Only 2 health. Comes up out.
I mean, the man was just fully paranoid, but still comes up with the kill there on the Darion. Scary now down to 1 HP. A ton of damage exchanged as Laz trying to get the lurk, but Retlet stabilizing that spray a little bit faster. Does find the kill. Done now, spike in hand. You're in market. With Zest getting tucked back in boats with the Odin. A very dire position to be in here for Zeta.
30 seconds left.
Gonna try to creep around, but can force back there. As Nano's getting popped. And Yidodon gonna be spotted.
Last player standing.
Swing out towards Alley. There's the cleanup. Retla will go ahead and get the final shot across. As Bleed. Very similar scene. Some of what we had in the first map. Is there a timeout call? Will be the question. But for now, it's 3-1. As Bleeder out in front.
Yeah, I think it's fine to just not go over the timeout just yet, especially because it started like this. I mean, you get Ye picking up, I believe, his first kill as well with the operator. And by the point that Retlo was cleaning them all up, it was essentially a done deal. Because a lot of people were low, a lot of people were being caught off guard. And yeah, just a nice showing from Bleed so far on this map.
2 Vandal triple stinger purchase here. Sugar Zero going also glass cannon. I mean, well,
One suppressed.
glass water cannon.
Cover going out.
Glass water cannon.
As pop flash out, Yudon and Sugar Zero able to find the shots. Stingers get value, weapons get upgraded. As that's going to be the spike getting planted. This is a huge swing for the side of Zeta Division. You can tell Bleed, they're already done with this round. Nothing more to be done.
Good call from the coach, I guess, not to call a timeout this time. He's like, yeah, I guess, no, they've got it. They understand. They know what they're doing. And, jokes aside, I think that, just getting set up in that little alleyway in A main with a couple of stingers, and then you have a couple of members of Bleed to just run straight at you, you're always going to have a good time, I'd say. They were just set up in a really nice spot, and Bleed got aggressive at the wrong time, and it really came back to bite them.
I mean, the thing is, I don't think for Bleed, I don't know that they anticipated that there was actually going to be this much weaponry on the side of the Zeta Division. They're usually a squad that doesn't opt for things like that. We'll just play back, wait until they have a slightly better buy. Sheriffs, maybe a Frenzy or a Ghost, something like that, sure. But basically stingers across the board plus 2 Vandals. I don't know that they were necessarily ready for that. So a really nice round pick up there from the side of Zeta Division, and it's going to be Bleed. Actually have to pump the brakes first.
Yeah, pretty interesting. I mean, they are currently in the lead, and they called a timeout. I think they've got the economy as well. We could sit here and think about, what are they going to say during a timeout? Maybe that round was a little bit iffy. As you mentioned, they got caught off guard, so maybe they want to try to slow it down, keep the mental at a good spot. But for me, I'm curious to see if Bleed is going to get the victory after this timeout, because that's all that matters for our Deskers and their mini game.
Well, we will have to just wait and see. I missed the minigame. Is it just them predicting which team, if they call the timeout, who wins after the timeout?
William and Asura, yeah, they voted for Bleed. So if Bleed get the win after this timeout, then they will be victorious.
Well, they are definitely playing against the statistics so far. The conversion rate
I liked their call because Zeta was calling a lot of timeouts going into eco rounds. So it's like, yeah, they're going to call a timeout and probably not win their next round. So
yeah, I mean,
I probably would have gone for Bleed personally. But
I probably thought that Zeta was going to be calling the timeout. Well, let's see. There still is a formidable buy put together here for Bleed, so absolutely could get this round win, especially if Ye can come up with another crucial pick like he had on that operator previously. So far is just the single elimination that he has gotten for himself as Hirodon across the way over in tiles. Does take a bit of damage, as there it is.
Spike down.
Same play. Ye hops out of market, gets a kill. Scatter. Shagger spike pick up there rather from Sugar Zero. Recover this.
Got some spray down while his teammates are ahead of him, actually. We already do have Depp in a forward position in tree, just waiting for someone to rotate potentially.
Sugar Zero ready with a paranoia.
Yeah.
Trying to send this right towards Zest, but looks like instead it's just going to be a smoke thrown down on the door. Paranoia gets sent towards the site, answering Paranoia out into a main, but no one going to get caught by this, and now Bleed have an immense amount of players here. Move forward to try to protect this site. Card sent, Depp creeping forward. Just around the corner is Darian. So far not spotting him, and there it is, Depp. Snappy with it, gets his first kill actually. So far he had not been on the board. Scary now going to be taken down. Sugar Zero able to find Zaz. That Odin not allowed to get value. And you can kind of see it in Ye's face there, like, okay, well, now there's a lockdown. There's nothing I can do. So Rejoice, Chatters, and Victoria, it would seem. As Bleed, doesn't look like they're going to be able to get the round win off the back of the timeout.
Yeah. They're not going to get it done. And Zeta, just a bit better on that one. I really liked the little bit of a lurk play that Depp had, just to be able to go up to the glass and just essentially wait for a rotation he knew would eventually come. Took quite a while, but taking out Darian kind of was the first brick in the wall to go down. And they eventually opened up this A site quite nicely. So that's going to be another round going the way of Zeta, which will tie us up 3-3. As they will just hold on to their operator and Phantom respectfully on the side of Bleed.
I mean, it was a solid beginning. Clean headshot to get the spike down there onto Hirodon, but Sugar Zero able to just go ahead. Quick TP, recovers it. They also get the null command out of Darian, so not only is it the round lost, but a pretty critical ult burned. It all starts there. Depp just patiently waiting for that lurk through.
Interesting. Don't need to say anything. Says Laz, just stare straight ahead. And he had quite a nice moment himself. Just, oh, here's going to come the null command. They are already charging in.
Gonna up the pace.
Pizza.
Storming their way across through Market. Zest here on site. Does have the Phantom, no Odin, but Paranoia now. Expiring, very snappy as Zest. He latches on the Depp. All right, let's still here. Flash is not connecting. They know that Zest is here on the side. Tries to play anti-flash, does so beautifully. Turns back to find Hirodon as well. Okay, gonna be taken down though. Off now, left on the floor as Zest goes creeping back over towards both. Sees enough. Gets a kill onto Yuran. And Zeta, how can it be sent packing, it would seem. Last creeping forward. Ranges the turret, but Darian very well aware of this. Gets the dink, gets the finisher. Now it's all on Sugar Zero to see what he can get done.
Might not expect him to still be over here on the B side. You do see a couple of members are going over towards A just in case he does rotate, but Sugar Zero taking it very slowly. And
oh, there's the peek out.
Yeah.
And once again, doesn't matter if it's on DRX or on Bleed, it would seem. This B site on defense is Zest's playground all the same.
He looks very comfortable there. I don't think you need to mix up anything with that on the side of Lead for sure. Just the way he plays this position was excellent.
The thing is, I've seen him get 4K clutches on B site probably like 7 times in the last like year and a half.
Yeah.
And not one of them are similar. Like they're all different. He's always playing from a different position, different weapons.
Scanning ahead.
Well, for now, he will not be on that side of the map. Be set up here on A as Drone once again. Going to be checking forward. No one pushing off the back of this one in case Ye comes diving out, but doesn't have an operator this time around.
And they're just going for a very similar strategy, just a lot slower. They're going to clear up that alarm bot and put down a smoke, maybe trying to threaten a push in through Market, but so far taking it much more slowly in this round compared to the previous one. We've also got Sugar Zero rotating all the way back around towards B, but there is a double stack in main from the side of Bleed. Might be ready for this one.
Fragment there. 3 gets a press. Retla lurking forward, but not able to find the first kill. Swinging from Lazo. He's not quite prepared. Does get taken down. Now everything getting a bit disjointed here for Zeta. As Sugar Zero needs to try to displace it, but they might not necessarily know that Ye has gone and moved up into this spot. That way they're going to be drifting back, but Ye quick to chase. Comes swinging through. Spots one. Then finds the spike. Swing out. Sugar Zero able to reply.
30 seconds
Gets
left.
that kill back, but HP bars right now quite devastatingly low for the side of Zeta. And Zest is here, and he's got that Odin.
Revealing area.
Dash
Right.
forward though, Depp able to avoid it. 3 HP remaining here
Planted.
on the Jet as there's a shock dart. And
One
Zest
enemy
knows his
remaining.
lineup. Scary now. Out from main.
Revealing area.
Finds a shot, recon over the top. The wide swing, Yudon just a hair off of that opener. But does end up falling. Bleed now with the defuse will get themselves up 5-3.
Yeah, I think that was pretty nicely handled. I like that Bleed had the double stack and B main and just were ready for any kind of B push. I do think that ZETA just a bit too slow, perhaps. Just allowing Bleed to really set themselves up into prime positions. And obviously, Zest, he's got the lineups as you mentioned. He's always in position. Scary as well, hanging out in main and just coming at you from way too many angles because you took just a bit too long. So pretty difficult for ZETA, and that is going to be the call for a timeout.
Down by 2. ZETA will go ahead and invest one of their own. See what the game plan is going to be. Right now, kind of surprising to see. Depp back over onto this Jet, really finding the impact that we're used to seeing from him. Hadn't gotten onto the board until that window kill on the Darion as he swung through. And it's been few and far in between since then.
I just feel like ZETA as a team aren't really getting very aggressive. We haven't seen any big plays onto A. I mean, I guess there was one that was where they had like the stinger moment, but besides that, just very slow pushes overall. I wouldn't mind seeing a bit more aggression out of them from the attacker side. Just trying to catch Bleed off guard. Bleed have been stacking a little bit, it feels like, so maybe trying to take advantage of that could work out for them. Let's see what they do on round 9. So we got 4 members over towards A for ZETA, but also a little bit of a stack for Bleed.
Heads down, guns up, get deadly.
Operator in play once again.
Shutting them down.
Some knives pulled here for Depp. Does have that shorty to go alongside it. He's going to be storming his way all the way down mid. And he's just the singular kill thus far. Dash at the ready. He goes in, but eats the flash. Darion in the meantime. I don't think he's realized, but now he turns back and clearly has figured it out. Depp dead. And things disjointed. His ZETA division only able to find 1, but lose out on 2.
Yeah, definitely a bit whiffy and messy on that engage. And now Zest, he's holding down mid. You see Laz trying to lurk on in, and he's even going to be spotted.
Oh, just slightly off there.
Yeah.
As Zest just takes away every single bit of util that he can. And he's eventually found. Wow.
Oh.
Bit wide there on the shot. Scary, however, looking to hold the door. Will fall down as Sugar Zero continues to deliver. Vandal now picked up here for Yudon. Sends out that recon. Lockdown invested, but Hunter's Fury is available. But can he actually decide to use it? Looks like the answer is going to be yes. Holding here on Heaven is Sugar Zero. Finds one. Teleports across. Zest in the meantime, though, finishes off Yudon. But his job has been done. The Hunter's Fury taken care of. Zest in the recon, not spotting him. The Odin would be critical to try to flush him out of hell. Goes for the spray now, Sugar Zero, considering the reposition. Here's a drop down. Shot through the wall and the headshot, the one tap, the 4K. Sugar Hero, he's still here.
This guy is just insane today. I mean, he's just able to get it all done, and it was a bit of help from his teammates as well. Some of the jiggle peaks to get him in position, but he is just not missing his shots. And that is really what is critical. Like this is very nice play from the team, and then getting aggressive, knows the lockdown's going to be taken out, and then crispy at the end.
Nice.
Not an overreaction either. He's just like, no, I'm just online today.
Unbelievable. Still down, but clearly not out. They had to fight back. 1 round to try to tie it up. Yane out with the knives. Depp leading the way. Shut down immediately. Back to the face. Pop flash out. Looking for a little bit more. Quite a lot of reveals here off the recon. Yane out chasing in for a little bit more. Laz does manage to pick him off, but not before taking one of those knives. And a Retla will also fall. So a double here for Laz. Nice little return fire for him as he keeps it at a 3v3, but Spike still stuck and being watched by Darion for the moment. Oh, actually, never mind. Sugar's there. He could just TP pick it up if he wants to.
He could.
Oh,
See if he
swing
can-
out.
Silence.
Just eventually will be able to find it, so now advantage in their hands. Jiggle peeking. Here is Yodan, but he's not quite ready for this. And that does just leave Sugar Zero on his lonesome. 1v3 to try to clutch it out. Spot Scary, tries to ADS it, and Scary this time will get the shot across. So 6 rounds built up here for Bleed.
All right, that's a good way to try to stem the tide of the side of ZETA. You get a big clutch from Sugar Zero, and you feel like some of that momentum's going the other way. But then he's just got some knives, and he does go. You know, the first 2 were amazing. The third one gets a bit over aggressive, but that's just fine. Already did his work.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it's an overheat, but just with the knives, I don't think that it matters too much. It's not like you're going to be
Yeah.
stranding a huge weapon anywhere.
And it's certainly better than what his counterpart Jet is doing at the moment, right? We
Oh,
need to
yeah.
see a bit more out of Depp.
This
Still
is-
just the 1 kill.
Very bizarre. It's just a quick peek down. Nothing going to be noted there in Wine. Paranoia through as they look to just flood into the site. And again, it's going to be those Stingers coming up with a bit of value nice and early as Scary will get dropped. Big break of the door, though. Smoke for now will hold them at bay as Bleed will just wait for the rest of the team to try to join in.
Spike
Drone
planted.
on the hunt, chases up, spots Retla making his way through the window. Follow up Smoke now. Invested is, oh, hit it on. Getting tagged up, sends down the fragment. Keeps him at arm's length for now. Pop flash into Smoke. Sugar Zero going to be spotted, dealt with. Knife thrown in, Depp mowing down 2, coming alive. He's managed to triple up his kills now. Still a couple low players. Zest and Retla overall healthy, and Zest snappy with a headshot. Let's get rid of Yodan. There's a lot more to be done.
Taken out.
Finds
My
the
ult is
KO.
ready.
One
Depp
enemy
approaching.
remaining.
And Zest!
Uy!
Unbelievable! One after the other takes them all down and carries Bleed
Gila.
over the line. Here on round number 11, they get up to 7.5 as Zest. Oh, he
Mantap.
sees what Sugar Zero's doing on the opposite side of the stage and says, yeah, I can do that too.
Hebat, Zes.
Maybe even better from this guy. Like, these last 2 are just incredible. Like, the whole team, a lot of smiles.
Hebat banget,
Understandably,
Zes bisa
Zest just
gitu.
making... I don't know. That was just incredible from him.
Bisa
And he's
gitu
going to
mainnya,
keep this
Zes.
lead very stable for the side of Bleed. This is going to be a buy round now for the side of ZETA, though. Remember that they got in and they got pretty close on that round with just, you know, a couple stingers. Sheriff were able to upgrade a bit.
Enemy tag.
Just hunting. Can suspect that Laz is just going to be lingering back behind where the turret was set up.
Right here.
And now, the Odin.
Scanning ahead.
Makes its presence known pretty early on here. So overall, we're likely going to be seeing the lockdown play coming through. Oh, that Paranoia not connecting in depth. Going to be taken down. Zest, again, Kent trying to be the hero here, the defender of this B site. As the null command does get popped. Darian making his way over through Market. Hunter's Fury now coming across. Tag going to be found. And, oh, actually resheaths that one.
Huh.
Laz in the meantime does find Ye. The man advantage here for ZETA.
You should
The
run.
HP bars are once again taken quite low. Now that the Hunter's Fury is out of the mix, they have to try to exit as the lockdown comes through. TP out for
30
Scary.
seconds left.
Zest in a little bit of a rougher position as Yodan will be able to find 2. And that just leaves Darian all on his lonesome as ZETA try to get up to 5, and they shall.
Yeah, nicely done that time around. You see ZETA playing with a lot of patience
Switching
there. They
sides.
know they have a lot of utility, a lot of ultimates left available, so just going to drop down that lockdown to make sure that they can pick up a 5th round. But this time around, we're not tied up at 6-6. It's actually Bleed having that nice little advantage with a slightly better defensive side here on the second map compared to the first. Still a lot of the fans here cheering for ZETA, cheering for Depp. That looks autographed there. Very nice.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think ZETA probably will look better on the defensive side of Ascent. This should be their bread and butter, but I don't know. It does feel like the momentum is swinging a bit towards Bleed.
Well, now, ZETA still down, but not quite yet out. Bleed in the lead as far as pistols are concerned. They rack up a 3rd one here, move themselves up to 8, or can ZETA try to tie things up from there. Now we're going to be moving over onto that defender's side, so should be in a fairly favorable position, unless you can see Bleed kind of replicate some of the successes that we saw, you know, from T1 on Ascent after they swapped sides. Started off with that 6-6 and then just didn't drop a single round in the second half.
Yeah, T1's attacking side today was just pretty special. And did see that Bleed did kind of falter when they moved over to the attacker side on Sunset, at least for the most part. Did have a little bit of a streak after the third round, but still was mostly Zetas. So certainly looking for Bleed to kind of up their game here on the second map if they want to have a chance. In the lead now, though, must be feeling a bit better. As for now, this first aggression is going to be coming through mid.
Yeah. Wait.
Cross. Fishing, let's see if they can clear out the expected alarm bot placement, but shots go a little bit wide, so we'll still be there. As Laz just tucked away just outside window. Classic in hand. Ready for that pop flash off that alarm bot contact. There it is, a push out. He got it only for the point one, but Scary with the turn fire. Gonna be looking decent. Depp will find him. He takes out Depp. So in the end, a 2 for 2. Laz pulling off the angle. Right, he would have been able to spot him, and yay, instant headshot there on the Yunan. And a third, and Sugar Zero will fall. Laz now on his lonesome, can pick up a different pistol. One with Inspectors, yay, tries to find it. Laz will be able to put him down, but it's only 15 HP here for him. Retla on the opposite side, Sheriff in hand. The slow creep up, it has to be effectively a one-tap here from Laz if he wants to win it out, and he will not be able to do so. Nicely done as Retla will go ahead and get a third pistol round in the series for Bleed.
Yeah, you would have expected Zeta Division to be able to stop that one. They had a very nice setup to stop any aggression down mid and through Pizza. But eventually just, you know, look away, don't get flashed, and hit your shots a bit better. Scary and Ye get the first initial ones, and then Neuron not able to get this. Very nice shots from Ye in this round, picks up a 3K, and he is essentially the reason why they do win out in that pistol round in the end, just able to hit the shots a bit better with the pistol. So now Zeta really behind the 8-ball, and Bleed beginning to ramp up.
Yeah, and expected to make 9 here, barring some kind of catastrophe. I mean, Depp, sure, he does have a Sheriff, but right now, things have been very rough around the edges for him on Ascent.
Sometimes it's just not your map. And it's definitely a bit unfortunate. I mean, he wasn't really the main character on the first one either. That was all Sugar Zero, who has also been playing pretty well on this map himself.
He's the main character of both maps so far.
Yeah.
Zest is trying to challenge, though.
For sure.
Retla just going to be setting up the turret here, and I mean, this is everybody, absolutely everyone from Zeta on this side of the map. Retla on his lonesome. They can't pick him off, and this could be quite devastating. Flash in, does get the catch, and oh, he gets bogged on the wall. That's about as perfectly as it could go for Zeta, about as poorly as it could for Retla.
His turret blocked him. He tried to jump over it. Very sad state of affairs. But at the end of the day, it is just the one kill, and it is a free plant for Bleed onto the A site.
Does give them a Bulldog. It's handed over here to Laz. Let's see what kind of use he can get out of it. As for now, Yuran coming around the back. We'll have to try to deal with Darian, but cannot, just with a classic in hand. Flash comes in. Dart cleared out. As drop down coming through. Yay, able to mow down one after the other. Sugar Zero will be able to take him down eventually as Laz finds one with a Bulldog, but 43 HP. At this point, it's really about dealing whatever additional damage he possibly can. Smoke gone, jumps up over the top, but Scary, watching from hell, is going to be able to take him down. So decent damage here for Zeta, but Bleed not going to be dropping the round quite just yet.
Yeah, pretty cheeky stuff from Laz. Nearly got away with it to get the drop on his opponent, but not quite able to do so. So 9-5 for the side of Bleed. We take a look at the replay and how this one went down. Very clean from Darian. And then a Phantom versus Classics.
Let's go. Let's go.
And we'll see if they can actually close this one out. I think they've got a much better performance so far on this map compared to what we saw on Sunset. But can they actually do it against Zeta's defensive side now that they have these rifles?
Thrown up over the top. Always obviously heard. They're on Cat. nothing really going to be spotted here. At some point, not going to be finding any forward presence. Approach gets ready to come through in main. Dash forward. Yay, able to get in front of it as Darren eats quite a bit of damage. Just rotating over top of that fragment. Check into hell. Nothing spotted. They know that the site is cleared. Deep lurk, though, from Zest. Phantom in hand could certainly do some damage as the smoke dissipates. And there it is. Snappy as ever. Takes out Depp.
Yeah. I mean, that matchup is not fair at the moment. Zest is just having a much better map right now, and he makes quick work of
Look
that.
at this aggression. The recon could be caught as the util goes in. Swing into the corner, and it's 1, 2, 3 from Yudon. Never mind. It's Odin Gaming. It's unfair. It's dishonest. Cleans them all up. And Zest, yeah, will be noted, taken down there by Sugar Zero. As the hold on the defuse can come through. 2 players going to be lost, but the most expensive weapon going to be picked up there, or carried over, I should say, as Yudon will be able to retain the Odin. Zeta not allowing for a bonus conversion. Solid anti-bonus work from them. But now, full Righteous Purchase gets ready to come in for Bleed. This is where Zeta really need to find their footing if they want to try to close this out. Otherwise, Bleed going to be in a very good spot to try to extend this all the way over to Lotus.
Yeah, for sure. And great paranoia and fantastic follow-up peek there from the side of Zeta to clean that one up. Sugar Zero and Euron together getting it done. So now, Bleed, do you have what it takes to actually push this one forward and give us a real match? I do not want to see 2 2-0s today. That would just be not so fun as a viewer. But
that depends on which camp you're cheering from.
So, but if you're just a non-biased viewer, you just want to see the maximum Valorant, then would like to have a 5th map. Especially because I think, you know, a lot of people cheering to see Bleed kind of reach their potential, but so far haven't really been able to see that so far. So maybe a 3rd map would give them a chance. Depp now has a judge here at 3. So if the rifles aren't doing it for you, just go to the judge.
Yeah. Shut down on the drone. Turn away from the flash. Depp be able to find another elimination there. Just putting that judge to good use. He ain't not quite ready for that one. Rush forward now. Through market. Laz very well aware of this one. Just looking to try to slow up the approach. Pops a swarm. The nano swarm instantly.
30 seconds left.
Oh, flash connects into his face paranoia as well. Stuck here in boats. Here's the approach. Starts pre-firing as they try to swing into him, but eventually they will be able to do so. They're only whittled down to 80 HP as if up over the top. They'll find much. 2v3. Headshot there from Hirodon. Gonna be decent. Finds Scary. Depp gets Zest. Now it's all down to him. 15 health versus Relentless. Spike planted. Any ounce of damage will be good enough, but Depp maybe starting to heat up a bit. A 3K in the round to save Zeta. Get them up now to 7.
Yeah, that was looking a little bit dicey for Zeta as well. I mean, they got onto the B site, they got this plant down. The utility usage was fantastic, and they isolate Euron. They take him out eventually, regardless of a dishonest gun or not. But then Depp, just really patient, waits for the peak. He's crouched, so the lineup isn't exact, and he is the one that hits the crisp shot. And that's all you need. Doesn't matter what your health is at, if you can win in that 1v1. So keeps the hopes alive for Zeta to come back in this one.
Only 2 rounds separating. Cash.
A
little bit all over the place. It's going to be knives for knives on both sides. Weaponry still very much favored here for the side of Bleed. Hirodon ready to send that nade out. Cut off this access point. Here's anything else coming his way. Said though, we'll be paranoid up, but Depp is up on top. Confirm that no one's worked their way forward here into the site quite just yet, but now the lockdown is going to be coming through. Yudon 1 away, crucially, from that Hunter's Fury, so they have no way of clearing this out. They will have to concede some space here towards Bleed. Yay, pushing forward, saw some feet there in hell. Knives go flying, and Sugars here going to be taking down the push for the right click, not going to connect. Hirodon able to find the one, but now Daria pushing up, finishes them off with the ghost. Last in heaven. Shorty out, Depp wraps around back, Jen takes out Zest. Scary, take it down, and now it's all on Darian here in hell. Noted. As the shots come flying his way. Swing on the corner, and Yona just a little bit of a fadeaway with the Odin. Will be able to take him out. A very dangerous round, especially considering the firepower that Bleed had coming into this one, but ZETA still do persevere, picking up now 3 in a row. They're just 1 away from tying it at 9-9.
You see the knives, pretty good usage from the A, especially identifying the second person, and how gives them a chance to push on in. And they used, you know, the null command. They had the lockdown as well. My heart just stopped, I think is what he said.
I don't necessarily blame him.
It
That was
was
a lot closer than you would have.
Scary.
A lot closer than you would have liked it to have been.
At least they used a decent amount of ults, and ZETA are holding on to 4 of their own at the moment.
Well, there was a 3 ult commitment there from Bleed. They're on lockdown available. Zest in a similar position as Yodon from last round, where he does not yet have that Hunter's Fury ready to go, so wouldn't be able to just quick clear it.
This is going to get pretty dicey here towards the end, especially because both sides have 1 timeout, so could get really swingy. You know, if ZETA picks up 1 or 2 more rounds, surely Bleed call a timeout. Maybe they grab a couple rounds and then ZETA call theirs. And it's really just going to come down to, you know, who can stick with it towards the end of these last half rounds and who's going to be a bit cleaner. So let's see what this looks like on the attack for Bleed, which so far has been slightly losing 2-3 in favor of ZETA, as it looks like they want to go for an A hit.
Enough smoke down. Well out onto A main as Ye goes for the entry. Wrap around back gen. No one here on the site once again from ZETA. Will have to be a bit of a retake for them. With that lockdown available, could just see the commitment here from Laz. With Zest this time, Hunter's Fury is available. Pulls that one out. Looking for the clear out. Laz in the meantime take it down as Ye just comes swinging around, finds himself a second. Monstrous kills as he can't throw the weapon out fast enough, and Ye is absolutely activated. Gets himself an ace.
Ace.
Well, I guess he's really just shown up now. He wants to bring us to Lotus, and he might have just done that with that round win. Pretty incredible stuff. Peeking out right underneath the Hunter's Fury, even going through it, catching him off guard.
And 2 HP.
Yeah.
It's
Hero,
unbelievable.
not having the gun out in time.
Well, that has got to be a damn good feeling for the Bleed camp as well as for Ye himself. Second ace, I do believe, of the tournament so far. And on his debut game on Lotus, on Raze. Played that for the first time, but now, as mentioned, as alluded to, and round win goes the way of Bleed, and ZETA will use their final timeout.
Yeah, don't blame him.
Not at all.
You get sweep like that, you got to calm the players down, just give them a moment to breathe at least, and just try to play some good Valorant rather than being caught up in that one. Always got to move on. A lot of words from both sides, honestly, as this is a pretty critical moment. We saw yesterday we had to go all the way to overtime to force a map 3 in the second match. But today, will it happen? Will we get to a third map? I feel like, you know, Ye has his moment, Bleed's feeling pretty good, but it's not over till it's actually over.
I mean, from where Ye started, you know, that 1 kill that he was able to get over in mid on the defender side, now finds himself +3, just got an ace. Big glow up within the map here itself. And ZETA are kicked back once again onto an eco.
Take flight.
Just the Hunter's Fury as well as Sugar Zero's ult to work with. Very similar scenes from ZETA compared to Bleed in the round prior. Major commitments on the ults, not getting around victory.
Yeah. Also might be a bit of opposite day in terms of, you know, Sunset going to ZETA and then maybe Bleed take Ascent against ZETA of all teams. Could definitely happen, has happened a decent amount already. You're on.
First line of defense.
Yeah. The Sheriff. Well,
there's a swing out. Yep, it's going to be him taking a bit of damage. Minor spam through is Ye. Threatens him back even further. Sight completely open here for Bleed.
might just try to end it a bit. Okay,
Oh,
well,
okay.
he's going to extend that ace into a bit more.
Look, sir. Okay.
uh-oh.
Well, let's run out, but Zest here will find the kill there onto Depp. Would have been recoverable. Okay, Yodan does manage to find this little shot, so they're at least making this a bit more costly for the side of Bleed, but as far as cash is concerned, they have plenty of it, and he's not ready for Zest to be there alongside the box. So cleanup comes through. 11-8. Bleed now, just 2 away from being able to take this over to Lotus. But now the purchase comes in, and Depp going to be picking up the op for, I think, the first time on this defense.
Not a bad call. Might want to just mix it up with the success he has or has not been having. Nice spot here from Zest. Coach is happy with the way that one went. So let's see what is going to happen now, especially with Zeta picking up some weapons. Still have this Hunter's Fury. They still have a chance. Looks like 2 guys on A, and then a bit of a setup on B with the Killjoy. And just Yudon, kind of the guy that's going to hang around mid alongside of this Killjoy.
Recon out, Laz. Let's go ahead and clear that away. They really would love to have everybody funneled in here towards B, where Depp has just been camped up here, but I mean, a ton of damage actually coming through onto him there. It's a little down to 54.
Yeah. Well, he was able to get it done with like
15 HP. Yeah.
15 HP. That was a bit of a different spot, but at least it's good that he does have the operator in this.
TP check there from Sugar Zero, but I don't know if he actually spotted how many players are there. Depp now creeping forward. Turret not in range of him is scary. Similarly, checking in onto that A site. Now the rotation's getting ready to come through, but it's not deep enough there of a swing from Retless, so he does not get spotted. But now this mid approach,
30
Depp
seconds left.
staying tucked in just alongside the stairs. Looks like Zest watching for it. He is so damn smart.
Unbelievable. This guy today is I don't think anyone's going to outdo him. Sugar Zero was the guy. Now it's Zest. 20-8.
Switch getting hit. Hunter's Fury coming through to try to slow them up on this approach, but the shot's going just a bit wide. Tags not found. Yay, still switch side. Laz able to find one, but Yay sprays across, finds 3. As he pulls the knives. That's a bit of a miscommunication, but it doesn't matter. The round is over, and this map is looking to be very much the same. 12-8, 1 more to go, and that's us headed to Lotus. The cash right now from Zeta, basically non-existent.
Yeah, looking very likely at this point in time. And Zest just checks it. A very aggressive spot there, of course, from Depp, and he gets punished for it. And very nice free transfer there from Ye. Pulls out the knives. Doesn't need them. And probably won't need them for the rest of this map anyway. So, see a very pitiful buy here from Zeta. Let's see if they have the magic touch.
That knife use would be a hell of a butterfly effect to have to take place in this one, but Ye now held back, scoped in instantly, headshotting Depp. Huge opener there from Ye, who is looking the most like himself than he has all year long. Laz does find Darian. Too much damage there for that, and this does slow up and make Bleed rethink where exactly they want to go.
Yeah, they have all the time in the world, and it's 4v4 with much better firepower, much more utility available. And for now, they're just gonna 2-2 split. Just clear everywhere out, I guess. Just gonna pretend like they're going towards A, but throw some utility and just run back and rotate all the way around towards B.
Zero. Less common spot than we're used to seeing, especially these days. Up on top of the barrels. 0 point in. Not cleared. That reveals 2.
30 seconds left.
Still no hard rotates coming through, but with 25 seconds remaining, if this spike ends up getting dropped onto the ground, this could be catastrophic. Fragment going out now to try and delay this. And I don't know how Bleed are going to make this happen. Paranoia does go out. They're starting to rush their way through now. Yay. Creeping down out of market. Footsteps may have been hurt. Timing. Oh no, covering fire from Retla actually is what finds Sugar Zero. Now it is all on Yudon and Laz. A couple seconds to spare as the spike does come through. Everything to play for now. the veteran, the captain, the IGL, and one of his young rookies alongside him. See if they can keep them in this, but Yay taken down. Shot through the box. Suddenly it's just Redla and Scary. But time ticking. Alarm bot spotted, cleared. Swing out, feet spotted. Decent damage going through. Laz able to find Redla and Scary, taken down. ZETA, 2 members left standing. They managed to persevere through the round. They still need 3 in a row if they want to force this into overtime.
Yeah, they're staying alive, but it's, yeah, as you mentioned, only 2 guys able to pick up those Vandals and move on to the next one. Round win is a round win, I suppose. Laz is kind of the hero in this one, I suppose. You know, he picks up a couple of the kills on the round you're on as well, doing a great job just to clear out the side. But man, that was close as well. I think Gudon was the one as well who just kind of spamming with the Guardian through the wall and clipped Ye, who was low on health. And that really kind of gave him the advantage in this one. But the economy is so healthy for the side of Bleed that...
Oh, yeah, they have multiple more buys.
Yeah. It was just like, okay, well, send it again, round 2.
Crucially, the only ult that ZETA have available to themselves is that lockdown where Zest has the counter in that Hunter's Fury. 4-man push-up into a main. 0 point to check. Get it on. Sending out the fragment to try and delay the rest of the team, and so far he has. So segmented are Bleed, but as the fragment expires, they'll start working their way forward into the site. Yudon still a world away. He's going to be creeping around the backhand side where Redla is going to be camping. They're over by tiles. Has the turret to play contact. Now he's looking for the challenge.
Spike planted.
Continues to swing out. Redla just staying stagnant here, waiting for it. Jump onto the corner. Only takes a smattering of damage. Follow up here from Hirodon. Will push him back into the opposite corner. The Jet will look for the kill. They will be able to find it. Hunter's Fury now in response to the lockdown. But Bleed bought a decent amount of time here on the site.
Yeah, a lot of time bought here, and now they're just going to have to clear out every single corner of this A site.
Zest continuing to delay. Yay, going to be taken down. Scary able to find Sugar Zero. The reveal coming through. Zest trying, but no, doesn't need to even get that shot. Tap onto the spike glass. Cannot 180 fast enough. Zest kicked things off so very gorgeously for Bleed here on this map, and he will be the one to get them across the finish line. 13-9, same score line, but different winning team as we head on Sunset. We are going the distance here tonight with Lotus on the horizon.
Yeah, it does feel pretty appropriate. I think Zest was the guy on this one. Ye as well, pulling 20. Laz getting 20 himself, desperately trying to pull his team back in, but it was not quite enough. So we are done for map number 2. Let's go back to the analysts to break it down.
Bleed is here to stay. They're fighting for their championship point. They ended up taking each other's map picks from each other.
Yes.
And, I mean, we were questioning a bit about their map picks and their decisions here, and look what has resulted.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, again, continuing from the first map, Bleed continues to play a lot better as a team, but this is a good reminder on what happens when you take someone to their comfort map.
Yep.
Like the singular impact that Zest had in his utility, in his timings, his peaks, everything. Like he just knew when to peek, which angle, where to clear, and that made everyone else so much more comfortable. And even Ye was getting way more confident in this map of Ascent.
Yeah, I mean, 15 first kills, right? And a lot of those was actually Ye's contact as well. So
yes.
I mean, it's just the stats that I was mentioning before the series started, where Ye was not getting that impact that he was looking for. This series, he's definitely on something right now.
And also, obviously, it started off with actually Redla really pulling his weight in the beginning couple rounds, and then, of course, you know, a couple heroic plays from Zest, then Ye, and then everyone really coming online. But it just seems that Bleed, finally, after all these matches, and a lot of rough ones at that, they're starting to get a lot more comfortable on stage and also a lot more in sync with each other, where they don't have to really communicate everything one by one, but just looking at the minimap, things like that, where they're like, okay, this is the play. And, you know, not just Zest, but obviously it helps that Ascent is one of those maps that's been around for a while, and all these guys have been playing for quite some time on the side of Bleed.
And this is where it gets kind of tricky too, because on the side of ZETA, look at Depp. He's 10-19 out of, what, 22 rounds? The first couple of rounds on the first half, he was 0 kills. kills, he was not getting that rhythm, that impact that we usually see from him. Even though we have seen ZETA Division actually try to make those contact plays for Depp, it just wasn't clicking for, you know, the Child of God.
Yeah, and you have to look at the Silvas when it comes to that, in my opinion, right? Just what areas of the map are you clearing for your duelists, even if you're not moving together, right? Maybe you've cleared the other side, so you have an idea of, okay, well, that means like maybe 2 or 3 people are on this side of the map, etc. But, I mean, when you get your confidence, we always say, like, Valorant is a momentum game, it's a confidence game, and we're not just trying to say this just to brush off the analysis and the stats, but it really is. And we've all felt that when we're playing solo queue, and that comes through here for both Zest and Ye. And Retla even, again, starting off so strong, they're all positive on the side of Bleed.
Absolutely, and this is the Bleed we want to see. This kind of cohesion, they're coming together finally, and like you said, we were talking about this, we were eyeing the Sovas. It's just so important on Ascent in particular, how they perform. And Zest, you know, since last year, he's always proven to be quite incredible on Ascent.
Yeah, I mean, Zest, whenever he takes a break and he comes back and he plays Sova, like even when he was on DRX and Vision Strikers, he just looked stronger and stronger. And clearly, he really studies the maps wherever he plays, whether it's just lineups or, again, okay, the internal timer of this is the rotation, this is how long it takes. I mean, that cover for his teammate was just so crisp. And that's when we all kind of felt, okay, the momentum swing is in action now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then everything just, again, followed through. Ye getting himself some pretty big highlights. Okay, sure. On the flip side here, we're looking at some of ZETA's plays here and now, right? But the problem is, I think it just was too far and few in between. It felt like they were trying to get something happening at the very start, and then it just kind of unravels.
Yeah, and I mean, Ye, of course. We don't see Ye kind of just peeking back and forth like that just to swivel on kills, right? A lot of his greatest moments are recognizing where everyone is and then going for those one taps. But right now, he is moving on a swivel, really trusting his teammates for the trade as well. Just overall, I mean, listen, the match isn't over yet, so obviously we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but all the criticism I think everyone had around the world, including ourselves, all the things that we talked about of this is just what's missing, and it's a lot of the basics for Bleed. At least now they have the basics. So now the question is how much further can they go upwards?
That's right. And we are going to go to Lotus now for our third map. I think there's a lot to break down here before we go in, but before that,
someone else has to go upwards.
So,
Yeah.
So, Bleed they won. But let me talk you through our genius. I say our because you, the audience, also picked ZETA Division. Coach Legia likes to take early timeouts, but we also know, based on the data that we saw yesterday, that he has the lowest win rate after doing a timeout. So, obviously, there was genius behind
Okay,
all
minus that percentage and everything. The play itself was very questionable from Bleed, all right? They should have won that. They got the first pick on Huron.
Listen. Let's not be sore losers. ZETA won even after their own timeout.
It doesn't matter because you lost.
Yeah, let's not be sore losers. ZETA was the better team after timeouts. Bleed was the better team overall on the map.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a little stressful in the green room. It was a little stressful.
Global.
Hey, it's me and it's you guys, the wingmen.
We're all really bunched up, you know?
You know, the Korean casters, they got some irons, they got some radiance. We're all just fighting
Maybe
here
we should
in the
send
middle.
Achilles to the Korean cast as well. I think he would fit right in on the...
He's teetering on the borderline there. Isn't he glad he's casting today?
He's waiting. He's just waiting for a chance to come back and rank back up.
Yeah, so this is great. I'm glad the games are over for today. It's been very stressful. It's very stressful. I don't know how you guys at home feel about it, but
well, our games are over, obviously.
Yeah,
they
our
still have
games
to play
are over.
one more.
I know. We have to go into Lotus now. We're gonna see Chamber, Laz.
No,
Chamber
Laz,
together.
yes.
Together
no.
facing off. No, it's not gonna happen. It doesn't happen.
Here's the thing: is that if they're looking this much better, which again, it's not that Bleed's doing anything crazy spectacular. It's just that they are playing basically as a team, which is what we were all hoping for. If they're doing this, what that tells me is that they probably weren't like cooking up comps, etc. They were just saying, okay, we have faith in what we originally cooked up. Let's go through the reps, right? Let's make sure that what's breaking down, what's wrong. And this is one of those maps, again, in their opening match against Talon. Zest had a very great showing, even though it's been a long time since he played in Tier 1. Bleed, even back then, they didn't look like they were on point as a team, but Zest looked like he knew exactly what to do as that Fade. So I think this could be close.
And you know what? It seems like, you know, this is what Bleed technically was. You know, that super dominant team from NYSG that even though, sure, they got through a lot of roster changes coming into stage 1, this is still the team that has the same, I'd say, soul compared to before. You know, their contacts are much more aggressive, cleaner. They're able to multi-kill their way into a site. This is iconic Bleed, and it's starting to come into play when it matters the most.
Yeah, and I hope they continue that on Lotus, because Lotus, again, being a 3-site map, even on defense, you have to push out, you have to clear areas, and you have to start to funnel your opponents. And if they once again revert to saying, hey, let's wait back and wait for the util, and then we'll go for retakes, I don't think that's going to work, especially when we've seen ZETA Division start to bring the Neon back out as well. I mean, they are going to up the tempo for sure. So I think Bleed needs to recognize that. They need to have confidence in, okay, we can fight back, we can duel as a team. Let's start to push and clear the map a little bit.
No, that's a fantastic point, and that's exactly right, because that is what stopped Bleed in their tracks in their losses in the previous games. It's when they hesitate, they're taking too slow, they're overthinking it, they're not going, you know, based on instinct, all the practice that they've been doing. And ZETA Division, you're right, with that Neon, I mean, those rotations, those swings are really fast. So Bleed is going to have to stay on top of it, continue this momentum from the last 2 maps. Even though they dropped the first map, they were looking good.
Yeah, no, I mean, they looked a lot better, right? I mean, this is one of those things where if you're watching a team and you're looking at the mini-map, you want to at least be able to tell that there are comms, right? And we don't need to know all the details, but you just want to see like, oh, someone spotted something and there's that rotation, okay? We didn't see that from Bleed the last week, but now, as we're about to wrap up week 2, we're starting to see bits and pieces of it.
I'm still wondering. Okay, it's still the same thing.
Yeah,
we
so
saw
just
before.
meta comp on Bleed.
Yeah.
But ZETA Division, I mean, you know, bringing back that Neon, they played it last year. Obviously, currently Team Heretics kind of headlining that composition. But ZETA, they're putting in the chamber as well. So, I mean, you mentioned it, Victoria, but it's going to be the fast rotates both on attack and defense. I think that's something that some of their opponents didn't quite account for, is the fact that once Chamber's holding something, that Neon will be on the other side in an instant.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Even when they're on the defense, it doesn't matter. Dep on Neon is quite a force to contend with. I would love to see a poll, actually, between the Neons, Dep's Neon, Mini Boo's Neon.
Ooh,
I would love to see
Mini Boo's Neon's really good.
Yeah. He's fantastic on it.
I just also want to add, on defense, Rubble control, you can reset it a lot more because of the double stun for the Neon compared to the Raze that only throws that paint shells once.
Yes, so we are going to find out how this is going to go on the 3rd map of this final series for the weekend. Let's go over to our casters, Valdez and Achilleos.
Thank you very much. Yes, let's get ready to go into this one. The desk talking about Depp on that Neon and how strong he was looking in their last outing on Lotus versus Team Secret, where they kind of debuted this composition. As far as his strength on the Neon is concerned, would have said similar things about his Jet, and it was severely lacking for them there on Ascent. Let's see how he fares, though. Going back over onto this, where he needs to be the one very much setting the pace and catching Bleed off guard.
Yeah, absolutely do need to do that. And it might just come down to how aggressive they want to get around Rubble. Although at the moment, we don't see Bleed is going in that direction at all. Just waiting back, seeing if ZETA are going to start off with some aggression. And then maybe going for a push of their own. Hidon would love to pick this one up.
There's my buddy.
She will. And they clear out all of Rubble. They take this orb. Say, well, there's no push coming in from Bleed just yet.
Bought the check. No pressure being applied out of B. Paranoia at the ready, though. Zero could catch everybody with this one. As for now, it's just a little bit of random spray. Prowler going to be spotted. Relay bolt sent. As they're just looking to really gum up the works. A couple players spotted there. Is Dizzy going to be lobbed in deep? Finally, a lot of you still expected his hero and actually pushing forward it. Going to reclaim this one. Does get it and can successfully back away, but all of this just going to be sending them over towards Laz. 6 bullets. The haunt sent, cleared. Looks for the shot. A little bit off on that one. Can't quite get it through the corner of the wall.
Yeah. Not too much time, though, and immediately the rotations are coming out from ZETA. They got 3 people on the C site.
It's about to get messy. They have to commit to this one now. Like you said, no time remaining. Good on able to find one. Look for the second. Gets it, but 2 in reply. 10 seconds now
10 seconds
remaining.
left.
They have to get ready to stick this one. Depp ready to swing through. Gets the headshot. Forces them off the plant. And that is going to be the round. ZETA picking up their second here of the series. And their first opening pistol round win of the series as well.
Yeah. As you mentioned before, when they were just trying to push into Rubble, they just really jammed up that area, and it felt like Bleed wanted to go for a bit of passive play into a push, but then eventually they lost out on so much time that the rotation over to C was very readable, and Deb's hitting some great classic headshots.
Nice! Good job! Woo!
All right, energy coming back in as we get into the later hours of the evening. The later evening of the hours is what I was about to say.
The hours of the later evening.
Yep. Well, the Outlaw shot ringing out. Is trying to deter them from pushing up, but will just be the orb take here from Darion to try to get that lockdown online as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Not a bad idea. EA says, you know, I'll probably pick up some kills anyway, so I'll just generate my ult that way. And, well, he was able to do a fantastic job on the last map. Who is going to have the hottest hands here on Lotus? Still a question to be answered. And so far, just a tap on the door and more passive attacking side play from the side of Bleed. Of course, just trying to see if they can catch anyone off guard with 5 classics.
Well, getting a little bit of info there for him. As Laz just creeping back around. They know that this Outlaw is likely still going to be here. With a push, just 2 shots there, fishing for it, but Yodan sends out the snake bite, gets him vulnerable, and gets him dead. Lurk from Zest to see if he can try to find a catch, but hit it on, ready for it. Does manage to find that elimination. Push up, Def will be taken down, so no flawless to be found, but Yodan trying to fast track that Viper's pit as he's just 3 charges away and scary. Now left all on his lonesome. Tap on the door. Yodan for sure was going to try to push out there, but instead it's going to be Sugar Zero. Able to come up with the goods. So, only 1 player lost in the anti-eco. ZETA now up 2-0.
Yeah. Once again, a bit predictable. I mean, it's not a big deal on that second round, of course, but it just felt like you're almost like, okay, they're right there. I'm just going to, I've got the Spectre, I've got a snake bite on the ground. People are dying if they're here. And he was just waiting with open arms.
I think Yodan was actually running to knife him. As we saw that replay.
Should have let him.
Would have been nice, but I also, you know, you can appreciate Sugar Zero not wanting to die. As for now, push up, create some space. We get it on the field to try to get that Thrash online. Laz will now look to occupy that forward position here outside of A. Does have the rendezvous set up for himself to just bounce back in the tree. Tap on the orb to see if they get any kind of aggression out on the opposite side, but ZETA is happy to sit back on the side itself.
And again, Bleed struggling to find a real entry so far on this map. It does look like maybe a chance towards A, but Laz is waiting with open arms. Just the Outlaw at the moment.
Poison Orb now, thrown in as well, trying to check around, see what he can spot. Oh, there's one. It's going to be Ye taken down. Solid opening kill here. With the raise in that position, should suspect that there's going to be more towards this A side of the map, but rotation's still going to be slow here from ZETA. Not looking to overcommit to anything. His last now, I mean, his bailout
30 seconds left.
is gone. Tap on the door, he's going to rotate up rope. Backs away and doesn't manage to escape. Just wait for the rest of the team to join in here as they get ready to go for a 5v4.
Yeah, will be interesting to see if Lee can hold this one down and deny the bonus from coming through. Scary looking to hold that angle himself. Meanwhile, ZETA surely taking their time with this one.
They're going to be sent across. Doesn't really find too much there. Pass lane is available to try to obfuscate the side a little bit more. Relay bolt going to be sent in. Couple shots flying. Scary pushing up into the smoke. Eventually he's able to steady that spray. Drag it across. Over onto Yuran for the headshot. Wingman now going for the plant, spray through. That'll just clean it up. Snake bite as well, going to be invested for good measure. Time ticking away. They would have to stick to it right here for now. So it seems like Bleed, yep, will just be able to find the win. Sugar Zero just looking to see if he can try to deal any additional damage, but eventually will fall. Zest cannot get out of the blast radius, however, so still going to be 3 lost. ZETA cannot convert the bonus.
Yeah, not half bad. I do think that Bleed handled it pretty well, even with a member down, still able to get on in there. This was a little bit wonky, but got the job done eventually anyway. They held the angle very nicely here from the baby door, and ZETA just didn't have the firepower to put it down. So let's see now as both sides want to be picking up rifles. Looks like, yeah. Let's see what this round is going to look like.
Bullfires out here for both squads. That, unsurprisingly, with that Phantom, just in case he needs to go sliding in. As Laz shooting forward.
I'll find you.
Tucks away the Haunt. Not going to reveal. His position kept secret.
Satchel out.
Flashback Nog actually going to get the clear out on that trademark, and Laz gets the, I believe, one-tap shot onto Scary. Yay. Backpedaling to see if anybody does come his way. No peek out from Yuran, just playing this one cautiously.
I thought that, okay, they are actually going to begin to head in towards C. But Poison Orb up, and that's going to allow Yuran to just rotate back over. Still no full committal here from the side of Bleed, as maybe it is a B hit, actually.
Yeah, a little bit of a fake out, some util dump there, but they could pivot any which way, or either which way, I should say, as Hitchell's going to be sent down into the back. Relay bolt now flying through. Hit it on the gun down two. Dep up over the top. Does find Ye. And right now, it's looking like a flawless round victory here for ZETA Division. As Zest all on his lonesome, just going to go creeping back. Laz on the hunt. I don't think he's going to be able to spot him too much, though. Looks like Zest will just
10 seconds left.
be able to tuck away inside of A main, keep himself safe for the rest of this one. Just going to be that single weapon, that single rifle carried over. But ZETA able to go ahead and win out now, 3-1. Not allowing for Bleed to come up with any wins here. And this is very much an inversion of what we've been seeing across the last 2 maps. It's widely been Bleed starting things off very strongly, having that 3-1 score line. Ooh, this time, no.
The relay
ZETA, yeah, relay bolt is gorgeous.
Was just insane. Not much to say about that one. Will be a relatively early timeout from Bleed this time around. We saw ZETA doing this earlier. And just want to talk about what has been going on so far, which has been just a lot of passivity from the side of Bleed, not really pushing in. They're getting picked off early and often, and outside of the, ZETA's bonus round, I guess, they have not really been able to find much luck, and a flawless round immediately after is not a great feel either. Only Zest able to stay alive. So certainly I think a good time to call the timeout.
But does it translate into the round win? That is the big question, of course. It has been widely eluding Bleed thus far on all of their timeout calls today. Let's see if this can be the change up here for the squad where they do need it quite badly. There's a depth. You get him over onto that attacking side.
I'm out of here.
That's when he's really going to be unleashed. We saw that from him on his entries versus Secret.
It's already looking pretty good. I mean, the relay bolt timings have been excellent, and there are a lot of small chokes on this map where you can get pretty good value from that ability. Laz is up here, sensing some pressure.
Let's just crept back. There's the rendezvous out. Ye now dead. 0 and 5 thus far. There's a quick clear out on that Nano Swarm, but has to backpedal as the Haunt does come through. But stun across. It's slow there. Likely to be planted here. And again, attempted a 4v5 for Bleed. The third time they've been put into this position is, they are just swarming their way through. Now the 2 remaining players stuck in upper B. Where's back away as Laz is just holding for the defuse. Nothing more to be done. Zest Save the weapon, Scary, and try to find any kind of kill you possibly can. He will be able to get one. Grabs the weapon, and then is going to be dropping it. And Sugar Zero puts him down.
Yeah, that was a very easy cleanup for ZETA. That did not look like they had just taken a timeout. I mean, Laz reads the push, reads the pressure, assesses that they are going to get aggressive, hits the shot, goes back, and then they still aggress on a B, and just, you know, one Dizzy gets thrown in, everybody's blinded. It's just free cleanup for the side of ZETA. They make it look like they weren't pressured at all. So, really want to see some more solid pushes from the side of Bleed.
Shuffling here on the buys. Prowler trying to wait this one out. The Boombot as well eventually will have to make his exit. As Thrash should go ahead and check around the opening here of A. Nothing going to be spotted, so just drags it back so we can get the quick recovery and save it for later in the round. In the meantime, Showstopper is available. Right now, seemingly Bleed not liking what they haven't been seeing at C. So they will turn their sights back over here on towards A. Zero, back rubble.
There's still the Gecko here from last time they tried this.
Paranoia sent, matched on the opposite side. Dizzy goes out, TP having to be used. Showstopper gonna get sent, goes in towards Baby Door. Decent amount of damage dealt. Eventually, Ye rewarded for that spray through the box. Gets himself on the board with the wallbang shot. Last watching, splits the difference between Retla and Darion there. Cannot find the kill, and now it's gonna be a lockdown invested here from Bleed. They know that they really need to try to get this round win. Relay bolts sent through, stun across depth, only gonna be good for one before getting taken down. Yuran around the back. Oh, what a snappy shot!
Spike planted.
Oh, just completely ignores Scary. Takes out Retla. A huge kill potentially here.
Get back.
Zest pushing forward, finds one. Last.
One enemy remaining.
Another elimination coming through, but potentially in a very rough spot. Clears out the turret. TP up the top. The troll down on the shorty. Takes out Zest. Darion with the reposition. He gets himself forward here onto the site. Playing a little bit of ring around the rosy here. The Nano to try to force him back. Sees him, swings it, gets him. Laz,
unbelievable.
This man is Chamber incarnate. The defuse will come through, and ZETA will lead out now 5-1.
I mean, what can you even say? Laz clutches it out. Huge play there at the end of round 6 to continue the onslaught of ZETA. Just have to watch and see how he did it. Started with Euron. A really nice shot there. Laz gets his first. The shorty pull out here, and then, yep. Spots just the shoulder, and that's all he needs. With just barely enough time, just gives himself a laugh and a nice little pump up there with the arm. And he keeps ZETA's dominance going.
As well as the ult economy. Built up nicely as depth.
Oh boy.
It's that aggression that we're talking about. Slide out, Darion dead. There goes your Killjoy. There goes a big chunk of credit investment in the round. Hit online for Yuran. No real need, no real pressure felt here to invest that off the rip. We'll just keep it in the back pocket for now.
Yeah, that's one of the things that using the Neon can be good for on this map as well. Just poke at a B or poke at a A sometimes, and yeah, they're not going to see. Some spray on through. Well, with Spike back here, it looks like they're going to have to find a different direction. But unfortunately, it's one of those spots where you've already used a timeout, and after the timeout, you lost 2 rounds in a row. So confidence levels are at an all-time low in terms of, okay, well, A isn't working out. We can't go C. The last time we went B, it was like we had 5 less members than the enemy, and eventually we did.
So close to being able to get that hit across. Relay bolts to try to slow things up. Depp keeping himself protected now. Fast lane set, but Zest with the spray is able to go ahead and flush him out. 3v4, but now, okay, never mind. 2v4. As we'll get the hit in, and that's the Nightfall out of the hands here of Bleed, where they desperately need to get this spike planted.
10 seconds left.
That one just sat,
Spike
waiting.
One enemy
And
remaining.
Yuran now arriving. Good turn from Scary, is able to answer one back, but he's dazed up by the wingman. Taken down by Sugar Zero, and ZETA they're not relenting whatsoever. 6-1 now here on Lotus.
Yeah, and that was a pretty decent buy round there from the side of Bleed, and they got pretty much no value. As you mentioned, Killjoy is gone, and yeah, Depp did go down, but he already did the damage, spotted the push, and then they're just getting rotated on like it's nothing.
Good job. Oh man, good job.
And that's all it takes.
Second timeout. 6-1.
Talk about vibe merchants. How about calm merchants? Laz, a man of few words. He doesn't really pop off much.
Yeah.
Just stoic.
Sometimes it's better to not go through the swings of the up and down and just maintain a similar level. So that way when things aren't going well, you can say, okay, well, I'm at the same level I was when I was winning 6-1. And that allows you to potentially kind of keep it even, keep it consistent. But then maybe you don't have quite the high highs as some other players.
Well, second timeout having to be committed here. Just 7 rounds in. Unfortunately, this has just become all too familiar territory for Bleed. They need a breakout. They need something here to turn the tides, to get the gears spinning. Right now, very much a shared effort from the side of Zeta Division. No one really breaking away, not seeing that huge, Sugar Zero performance like we had on Sunset. Everybody just very consistent.
Yeah.
Playing alongside one another.
Leader coming a bit quicker this time. They're going to take over Rubble.
Up the pace a little bit to gain some forward space, but
yeah.
Now, they're waiting at the Viper wall. This will slow up the approach a little bit as Prowler checks around. And with the tap on the orb.
Assuming that maybe somebody would peek out there, but Zeta not really taking any big chances. At least just Laz over at Mound just checking to see if anyone else is going to rotate back, as Bleed have done a lot so far on this map, but that is not the case as we know. Gonna throw down a smoke. And Zest throwing the Prowler, but again, as we know, they are not going in that direction, and it looks like Zeta have read it very nicely. I mean, already Depp is rotating over towards B, towards the direction of where Bleed are.
Smoke just coming across here to make that A site unassailable. Sugar Zero, his back to the baby door here for the moment. The Nightfall comes through. He's going to be setting the paranoia and actually rotates in for the challenge. Does get blinded back on the opposite side though, but Laz does get this catch here onto the lurking Killjoy. It's the spot. Zest pushes his way up into the site. For now, Bleed will have control.
10 seconds.
Weapon upgrade for Ye. Get it on holding back here. Waiting and allowing for them to push into him. He reads one. Is he ready for scaring the side? No. Tries to go for the flick. But Yudon there to go ahead and get the re-peek. Take him down. Now it is all on Zest. Just the C's. The Han coming back up soon, but Laz will just plus forward into the site. Get the shot across. And overall, it's still going to be an onslaught here from Zeta Division. Now 7-1.
Yeah. I kind of like the idea from Bleed, you know, down on some firepower, trying to just use the Nightfall to try to get onto the B side, but Sugar Zero getting one pick, and then Hero on really nice position here, just reading the pressure, knowing they would try to rotate out and clear one angle after taking the B site. Gets a lot of value there, allows you not to follow up, and from there, you're just too far behind as Bleed. So I feel like the idea was all right, but now you've lost another round and used both timeouts.
Look at this though. Up in from Darien, a bit of a change-up, but a 4-man stack from Zeta Division here at A. They know that this is going to be fought off after, and they want to try to win this one out. Relay Bolt's getting sent around the corner here from Depp. Does eat that paranoia as he tries to stay alive. Yang in a forward position, able to find one as Scary tries to spray across. Gets Sugar Zero. Quite find the rest.
Do you shot?
Spike dropped as will be Zest taken out. So in the end, a 2 for 2. But ultimately, just a damn good read here from Zeta.
Yeah, it feels like they've somehow had Bleed's number on this map, many different angles. They were just so ready for that push to come in. And now, chance for Bleed to go in.
Okay, well, Laz really wishing that he had completed that teleport. Carrying not spawning too much, but okay, Yuran going to be caught off guard. Red Light able to find that. Yuran creeping forward, gets himself in front of the smoke, but cannot align the shot. Scary will get a second. Pit's still going to be committed here, and I think that with an extra second or two on the back end of that one, would have preferred to hold on to the ult, but all the same, Bleed, what they desperately needed was a round win, and they will find it in round 9.
Finally got their second one, and even though they got challenged out at Rubble, it was a great job from Scary to just get some nice value on the right side of that pack, of that pile of Rubble, and then eventually they go for the retake. It looks like Yudon was just not really ready for that. The dry peak coming on in. Scary able to follow up.
Hello,
Obviously
Mikael.
with Laz going down. Doesn't need to hold on to that weapon, as he's got his ult and a lot of money.
Belum main Valo lagi nih, Mikael.
As are the lightning bangers relay bolt gonna go flying in rather. As Dab just holding it down, comes in with 2 slides forward, looking for the third. Can't quite make it happen, but damage has been dealt. There's the daze. The wingman pops. Yay and Darren is gonna be stacked up here alongside one another, and it would be one hell of a day. The shooting range there for Yay if he was gonna be able to pick those off and isolate all the players. A big change up here. ZETA say, okay, let's go aggro once again, this time on the opposite side of the map, and it pays off gorgeously.
Yeah, I just love that they just send it here. Especially you've got this ult available for Deb. He leads the charge, puts the relay bolt in, and just against the flow of play, he said, okay, you got 1 round, and now I'm going to take you down personally. 8-2. ZETA, very nice aggressive play. We'll see if they keep up with this aggression or if they do want to mess with it. With the flow of the play, as we do have 3 members at least pushing out here.
Pass lane sent. Yay creeping forward. As Showstopper going to be sent over towards Hirodon. He's able to find that one. Yay. Oh, okay, Depp. We're just back to take down Yay. Looked like he was going to be dead to rights, but now an advantage here for the side of Bleed. Just still with just the classic, moves up, grabs the gun. Prowler checks in towards tree. Spotted there. Paranoia at the ready.
Uh-oh.
They get stacked up into the smoker. They're just going to swing out. They do. They both die. I think that one, unescorted by any form of util, a bit puzzling for the side of ZETA Division. So Bleed now well poised to just go ahead and rack up a 3rd round win in this half.
Yeah, it kind of just looked like they wanted to keep up with some of that fast tempo, but immediately the 2 of them got punished so quickly.
Just 3, 2, 1, die.
Yeah. Certainly some kind of pact. And Laz, he's got a lot of money, and there's only a couple of rounds, or I guess 1 round after this one left. So just going to send it, and send it he does. Down he goes. Bleed picks up a 3rd round.
That gets Zest one away from having the Nightfall online. So if that is able to be scooped up here by either an orb or a kill, could be useful here for Bleed to try to get themselves up to a 4th round win in the half, but overall a solid start. I mean, I don't know how the hell Depp really snapped over to get Yay there, but
Nice out, Jake.
for everybody else, very, very clean. Crash at the ready. As Yudon as well, similarly, just 1 charge away from having a critical ult.
Now let's see if he can get there. It's really the question, as Yudon thinking about utilizing Dizzy over the top, see if he can clear this one out with Sugar Zero, because there has been a bit of aggression coming out from Bleed on this angle onto Rubble so far, but this time Bleed are going to go back to what actually didn't necessarily work, which was a bit more passivity, just waiting to see if ZETA would push, and then going for a late push themselves. But now they are grouping up outside of A.
Relay set there in response to the Prowler, and looks like that alone is enough to shove everybody all the way back. Arian inching forward outside of C. The rest of the team getting ready to join in alongside him. There it is, just Yuran without that pit.
Hello.
This one.
Welcome. Yang
Coming
nonton.
through though. Looks like Yuran looking to just go ahead and try to reinforce this, but as the smoke comes in, a ton
Malam,
of being done
Theo.
forward. They are very well aware of this. Last trying
Welcome,
to go for the
Theo.
shot through the doorway. Can't quite find it. Thrashed out. at the ready, leading the charge. The clear out. You manage to destroy it before the tank comes in, but Yodan swings down. It's able to find two. Does get taken up, and Yodan peeking also finds another. Retla trying to keep things even, but Laz finds the shot, puts down the enemy Viper, and now it's he and Depp to try to close this out and make it a 9-3 half.
It's only 14 seconds.
Yeah, but have to stick to it. Cannot make it happen. The headshot comes through. And it's 9-3. ZETA way out in front.
Yeah, this map has not looked a lot like the others. There has been a bit of a difference here on Lotus. I thought this would be also a close map, what with the 13-9, 13-9 back-to-back, but 9-3 now, the biggest lead we've had.
Oh, see, they just forgot to write the 1 in front of the 3.
Yeah, well, could happen. Just
That's what we need to do.
Just win 10 rounds in a row. It's fine.
DRX
Comeback
did it.
ka ini
They
ZETA.
did. Can Bleed do it?
21 ka ini.
I don't know. I don't know. After
I like
this,
the revisionism on the sign.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't get the 2-0, so I'm gonna just scratch that
Still
out right
counts
quick.
if I just cross it out and draw 1, right? I knew this was gonna happen. Master predictor.
Well, now everything to be done here for Bleed. 6 rounds down, not a good position to be in. Let's see if the players themselves believe in curses. We have a Zest fan here in the audience. Many of them, I'm sure.
Just asking them to like and subscribe to some. I don't know. It's probably some YouTube. Pretty interesting.
Smash the like button.
Yeah. Make
On
sure
our
to hit
channel.
that bell.
We don't know what the other one is. We're not endorsing that, but you know, on our YouTube and Twitch pages.
Yeah. But if you came down to the studio, you could also
Check.
do what he did and make a sign.
Hello,
True.
Say
hello.
like and subscribe.
Check, check.
You could be that guy. How fast are ZETA going
Check.
to go here
Yes.
from the attacker side?
Make it happen.
Yes.
Yes.
10 out of 10.
They just slow creep the whole thing. Well, for now, that's exactly what they're going to do. Here in formation, want to check that first corner. Nothing spotted. Nobody here on B. Turret is set up, though.
Spill spec PC.
Formation.
Nantilah.
And plenty of noise heard.
Spill niya, ya.
Tapping the door. Trying to get some shots. Oh, my God. Last HP bar damn near disappeared.
Yeah. It's pretty rough. I mean, they are going to get this plant down, but nice little health advantage for the side of Bleed. We'll see what angle they're going to come from. It looks like pretty much every angle at this point.
Just trying to keep them guessing every which way here, not give them any kind of comfort on this approach. They're out there as second shot finds the head. Paranoia through. Looking for a bit of a timing shot. There is Laz. Def in the meantime trying to hold things down on the site. It's good for 1. Played it out. Zest coming up with a second as he gets rid of Yodan and keeps things nice and even, but as he tries to go for the use of the util, does get taken down now. All on Scary. Lines up the headshot, but just does not have the time. Yodan will go ahead and take him out. The third charge towards that Thrash is ZETA. They tie up the scoreline in pistols across the series 3-3. They hit double digits here on map number 3.
Yeah, and that might just be the nail in the coffin. I mean, if you were going to make a comeback, it had to start there from the pistol round, but 10-3, it's pretty damning. ZETA are going to have a big advantage in this one, and then only 2 rounds away. As we see, Laz, good position, gets the 1, and yes, they came from every which angle, but eventually you're just running out of time if you're trying to literally encircle the B site.
Looks like even with the deficit, no force up here from the side of Bleed, just having the the understanding of the calls ahead of time. We do not force by. Now it's the A site, the gamble stack, having to be shifted over. There's a little bit of utility used on the approach here from the side of ZETA, taking their time, making it, a cautious approach. They look to not get caught off guard, but now the Flood gets ready to come back through, but on top of that snake bite is Darian. He's able to find a second elimination as Retla will get another, but in the end, it's going to be the cleanup there from Laz and Yodan. So 3 loss overall, not bad for the side of Bleed, but unfortunately, the scoreline doesn't really lend itself to giving up more rounds.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't, but let's see what they have in their pockets here. As this wasn't necessarily the cleanest for the side of ZETA. They kind of got encircled this time around and lost some battles against classics, but a win's a win, as they say. They put that 11 on the board.
That's just the power of the bundle.
Yeah.
It's a classic hit that much harder.
No, it's a game of confidence. You look good, you play good.
Laz having to jump back there. Rendezvous on cooldown. We'll just backpedal away from the site in the meantime. The rest of ZETA grouped up outside of C. And Darion here both have some rifles. Fast lane going to be sent as Depp slides into a nice little cubby. Getting himself protected as Rentla now stunned up. Darion with the cover fire is going to help take down Depp, but Yudon at the same time able to get rid of the enemy Viper. Put on in that regard, but a decent amount of damage is still dealt here onto the members of ZETA. Sugars here down to 45 as they start inching their way forward and spray across from Ye. He's able to find Hirodon.
Yeah, it's a fantastic pickoff.
Enough space given. So they will, okay, I was going to say, they will get the plant down, but no, Darion with a nice spray gets the wallbang headshot on the Laz.
One enemy remaining.
Don't show your head.
Almost there, but Darion with a 4K will keep the lead afloat and deny that match point from coming through here for ZETA. One away now from that lockdown. But Laz, on the attack, says, yep, going for the op.
Yeah. That is the chamber way. I feel like, all things considered, a pretty nice hold from the side of Bleed. Ye getting that very nice shot down, and then some of the sprays through the smoke were really key, and then of course we had fun hop back and forth. And it's not a lot of energy. I think they know the kind of dire straits that they are in right now.
Yeah,
kind of
just trying to maintain focus here. Get on fishing for a kill with the Odin in hand. Zest does get tagged up just a bit. Just the pick up there on the Dizzy, as well as the Orb to try to get that next Thrash online. Grinding things to a halt here for now.
Yeah, so much for the 10 out of 10. We're going to go super aggressive. Although when they do go for the pushes, they really do send it. So maybe just trying to mess with the timings, bait out some more utility, and then send it. As seems like that is the call for now, as all 5 members are looking to push towards A through the rubble. Scary is going to spot them. That should be enough information for them to potentially get in position for this push.
So that's ready to peek out from stairs. If he spots anything at all is, oh, they're right here in front of Ye. Here's the pushing through. Oh, trying to get turned around. And as they turn back, will be able to take him out. Oh, Scary full blind across onto just about everybody. He is able to come away with 2 eliminations. Wingman going through. Dizzy sent in towards backside. Prowler facing there from Zest. Spike gets planted and Zest on the swing.
Ooh.
Gets rid of Laz. Sugars here at 5 HP. So in such a poor position here. 2v3 for ZETA to try to get up the match point. Bleed trying to hold on as the sync bind avoided by both. Mosh Pit now lobbed in to buy some more time here on the spike. That's the last bit of util that they have. Now they will have to challenge in. They'll have to go for the fight. Swing out. King White City to spray. Hit it on. Good for 1, but eventually will fall. The defuse will come in and Bleed. For the first time in the map, will win 2 rounds consecutively and now move up to 5.
Better late than never. This is how you begin that comeback. 5 rounds, you get a couple in a row, you string some economy together. And so far, the defenses have been pretty good. I think that, you know, Ye was in there, but at least he got the information of the push, right? So didn't quite do a lot of damage, but his teammates were able to follow up, and then eventually it was a bit of a sticky situation for ZETA to actually get the plant down, and eventually that was just a bit too much for them to get through. So 2 in a row for Bleed. How many more are they going to get? They're definitely favored in this one.
Now they have the lockdown online. Depp rushing forward. Zest, Odin of his own. Starts spraying. Sugar 0. Yep. Straight back the opposite way. Tap on the door. Paranoia not connecting. Ball goes up. Zest does take a shot or 2 there. As Laz tries to put him down. Sugar 0 eventually will be able to push in from behind. Find that kill. Hirodon with a nice headshot. Takes out Scary. And it is a 3v3, but well, ZETA significantly less HP to try to work with here.
Yeah, this this is not going to be easy for them, but getting a plant and a couple of kills already is positive for the side of ZETA.
Oh, the lockout. He got that out of him.
Oh, no.
Okay, doesn't have the bullets to try to destroy it here. And
Outstanding.
as Retlo will swing the corner, and we'll be able to just go ahead and finish the job. But still, heavily costly. Down the 2 players left standing. Oda can be recovered to just go ahead and scoop up the more expensive weaponry. But lockdown committed in. That hurts a little bit more, but Bleed, ultimately, they do stay in this. Now just 5 rounds separating.
Still in it here for sure. Coming in quickly was...
Oh,
yeah.
it's lining up.
One enemy remaining.
ZETA got in there very quickly on the site. And they were actually able to take out Zest as well relatively easily. So it kind of looked like they had a chance, but eventually not having the firepower. They got the lockdown, though. So
The
ZETA...
lockdown, and well, there's a couple ults available here for Bleed. About to have damn near all 5 up for ZETA. 1 charge for Depp, Laz, and Yuran before they have those ready to go. You know, with the operator in hand, just going to be backing away. Relay bolts getting sent in towards the site. Spray into the box just to check and see if there's anyone there. And then silence. Just cutting noise, backpedaling, drifting away from C.
Yeah. And so far it does feel like the pushes from ZETA have mostly gone towards Rubble, in through door, and trying to punish whoever is in there. At the moment, it isn't Zest, who was there in the last round. So we've got 4 members. Laz, you know, he's doing his chamber thing, is over looking at Mound still, but 4 members here on the side of ZETA looking to potentially
He's about to bite.
send it again.
Sends the boom bot at least, and okay, looks like he may just back away. There's the jiggle out, and yep, okay. Saw enough. Laz does not pull the trigger, and Ye does not challenge the fight. But with that, now the call's going to be made to rotate back around to the opposite side. Laz looking for it, but Ye shuts it down. Now they need to try to play in and displace this ray. Swing out, Ye. Second shot, paint shells to delay. 25 seconds remaining here. He dodges out on the Dizzy. And ZETA looks like, yep, they are a bit puzzled, scratching their heads, wondering what to do. Ultimately, they just have to sit back and save and allow for Bleed to keep themselves in this game. 7 rounds now racked up.
Bleed are in it. Bleed have a chance. They're making a big comeback here. It's actually happening. You never believe when it's like 11-3, right? Especially the pistol round goes the way of ZETA. But 4 rounds in a row now to the sign of Bleed. And what can you say? I mean, they've been quite clean. I guess they're just kind of wishing they started this a bit earlier. But they certainly do have a chance now. As we'll take another look, it really just comes down to Ye hitting 2 shots. And then the round ended.
All the way back here waiting. Oh my god.
Well, his waiting paid off. And, well, ZETA certainly did not. Now, all ultimates available. See what is necessary for them to try to get this round victory. Push forward. They take space outside the door. Here comes Zest. Should anticipate this, though. So for now, just avoiding the spray. Door going to be tapped. Thrash leading the charge. Paranoia connects. Depp going to be slowed up for the moment. Have that overdrive at the ready, but now the Nightfall chucked in. Relay bolt sent up top, trying to slow them up here as the pit gets invested at the same time from Yuran. Smoke's just keeping everything blocked out. Is scary. Molly there at his feet has to jump back up. Third step. And the slide right back down. Last in the meantime, waiting to see any kind of rotation, any kind of flank attempt out through stairs. Looks like Darian might be heading in that direction, but Zest just trying to flush him out. Has to go for the reload. Time being bought. Smoke bloomed. But enough of a window there. Laz spots at the killjoy. Scary in the meantime. Going to be able to find Depp. Now Zest taking out Hirodon. 3 members left standing here for the side. Zero shuts down Ye with a shorty. Shuts down. Scary will be able to identify Laz's position. But ultimately, they just do not have the time for this. They will go their separate ways as Scary tries to overstay, tries to find something with that operator, but ultimately ZETA will finally stop the round win streak here from Bleed and get themselves up to match point.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, as you mentioned, you have 5 ultimate abilities. You got to find a way to win a round, right? And they did. They sent it all. They went in fast. Last nice angle here. Wasn't even that done of a deal. I thought that maybe they were going to be able to clean up Sugar Zero, but he's able to stand tall against 2 that push in, and he is just zoned in. No fist bumps, no anything. He wants to win this one. And let's see how this round is going to go.
Oh, Laz, just hop in the corner. Tour de force in hand, takes out there and slide. A great shot from Retla, very snappy to get that neon mid slide. Hit going to be committed here. As Laz will be found. Man advantage going to be here for the side of Bleed, but now equalized. Just about no, yay over the top. Showstopper keeps him in a firm lead. Retla on the push, gets the headshot. Hirodon goes down.
Yeah, a nice try after all, but with the pick coming down was going to be difficult regardless, as now we've got almost all ults down. And Bleed, they get back on the board, they give themselves another chance here, but again, kind of a similar spot to where ZETA were on the last one. And ZETA are going to call a timeout just to make sure of it. They do not want to take any chances here. They want to really come together and get one last solid round because they know that Bleed have been a threat the entire night.
Do have a second timeout. They're going to be hoping that this is the only one they need to use. Multiple attempts here at match point to close this series. Send Bleed packing without a match victory. Bleed though, a solid effort to run back these 5 rounds thus far, not giving up. Can they go the distance? It'd be such a monstrous turnaround for them.
Yeah, I mean, you were able to come back and get 4 rounds in a row the last time around. You just got another round. It feels like they are pretty comfortable here from the defensive side, but now you got to be super clean. You got to just hope that nobody builds up an ult and nobody can quite challenge you, but I would imagine they get there eventually, even just by deaths, if they get to the final round, number 24. Let's see how this one is all going to shake out. ZETA Division was our unanimous choice, but this has been much closer than I think a lot of us were expecting, so shout out to Bleed for that at least.
Disney not spotting anything. Lion's share of the team here for ZETA, now pushing forward outside of C. Smoke just come down. As now over here outside of A. And it's just good on going on a bit of alert forward. Doesn't hear or see anything. Retla watching to see if he can spot anything at all. But ultimately has to peel back. Put up the poison orb. Drops it as the follow-up smoke comes through from Scary. As all of their smokes dedicated here towards this side of the map. Now smokes coming through. Snakebite goes in the trying delay. Gets a vulnerable across here on the 2. But Depp still on the hunt. Stinger in hand. Retla, does he read this position? No, he does not. Depp with a peek out, able to find him. And that's the first step towards this match win here. As all of ZETA, most of them rather, pushing out towards the side, trying to get the catch. Prowler confirms the presence of multiple. Jump around the corner. Yeah, gonna be taken down. Depp able to find 3. So for a little bit more, slides back across to the opposite side. Now back out onto the site. Darion with the op. Swaps it over now for the Vandal. But it's a 2v4. Against ZETA with weapons upgraded. On down, Laz, headshot across. Zest is gone. And it looks like that should be the hopes and dreams for Bleed gone as well. 13-8 ZETA. They call the timeout, they get the win. They managed to persevere.
Yeah. Like the call of the strategy as well, just to rush on into C a bit faster than they had been going up until that moment in time. So good call from the coach. They get the job done. Was a grueling back and forth match though. 13-9, 13-9, and then 13-8 at the end. Just barely going the way of ZETA. And it was a team effort. I mean, it was a difference of 16 to 13 kills from top to bottom, right? It was very close one. It wasn't really one guy that stood out on this map in particular. I mean, you're on with the highest first kills, but at the end of the day, ZETA do pick up the win. Lots of fans here supporting them, and they'll get the job done.
That they will. Hell of a birthday gift there for the squad. And plenty to celebrate here tonight. Obviously, still things to retool as well. You know, a lot closer than they might have anticipated coming into this series here. But for Bleed, I think overall, some clear growth. But that's enough for myself and Valdez. We'll catch you guys next week. For now, we'll pass it back over to the analyst desk to break down all the action.
Thank you, gentlemen. Zeta Division close out this series, winning this one, getting one step closer to champions with their championship point, and one step closer to qualifying for playoffs, moving towards Shanghai.
Yeah, I mean, an ever-needed win. Obviously, we talked about it before the match started, but, you know, while on the side of Bleed, really everyone was just hoping to see them play like a team at some point during this match. For Zeta Division, obviously, they have one win under the belt. They really wanted another one just to keep the hope alive, and they're able to lock it in.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the same Bleed that we saw last time, right? It's definitely a big improvement here. But that being said, Zeta Division just had these players, these pieces that really went above and beyond in map number 1, and here, especially in map number 3.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned map number 1, right? Because if we didn't see Sugar Hero popping off like he did in map number 1, this could have been a different best of 3. So obviously Sugar Zero, while it feels like it was a long time ago, did his part for his darndest to really keep them in the game. And then overall, the team really leveling back up. I mean, I really like this Neon comp. It's continuing to do work for them. It's also kind of forcing them to play at a faster tempo, which is doing them a lot of good here on Lotus.
Yeah, I just wanted to add for Sugar Hero here that a big example of, I think, the impact that he's gotten as well on Lotus was those kind of slow approaches that we saw from Bleed. A lot of those punishes came from just really well-timed paranoias into, you know, those 3Ks and everything, and that really followed up there for Zeta. That's what you saw in the first half. So many rounds went in their direction for those retakes.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that read on their tempo and Bleed's tempo really helped Zeta Division persevere. They're saving their utils for the right moment, the right timing. They didn't get too anxious, I think, waiting for Bleed to execute.
Yeah, so I think we're starting to see that the Zeta Division we're seeing currently in Stage 1 is starting to learn how to figure out their opponents a little bit, right? Okay, like this is how you want to play. Okay, this is how we want to play the defense. However, as we saw in the earlier match today as well, if you really want to continue to get the wins, really try to get to the top, your attack has to be good. You need to know how to take initiative. You need to know how to be proactive, and Zeta Division's still a little bit weak on that side, but maybe they can improve that in the future weeks.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really fair point. And Lotus is definitely that map you do want to be aggressive on, especially on the attacker half. You have to be full confidence, and you have to go in.
Man,
15 first kills for Zeta.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to look at the stats real quick and who got the most first bloods here. It felt like it was the same thing that I was mentioning that was the weakness for Bleed, which is that Ye tries to get that contact on the first bloods, but he's the one that gets picked off at the start of these rounds. That's why you're seeing this 15, because a lot of the deaths that Ye had was resulted because of this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little tough, right? I think that's partly just because of how Bleed plays as well. If they're playing slow, you're kind of expecting the agent with the most mobility to go and get contact, ideally get a kill or bounce back out and then go for the trade, something like that. So that's a bigger question, I think, for Bleed to answer for sure. But that also means, again, Zeta, you know, the members who are anchoring, like the likes of Laz, are able to get that first shot. They know the timings on when they're trying to peek around smokes and things like that. And that results in these first kills that allows them to kind of stay ahead. And once again, I mean, while it's not as consistent as you would want to see, the rookies, like Uren, performing and having these maps where they're able to take the top scores, that's a really good sign for Zeta, because we have to remember it's only their first year, especially for Uren. He didn't even get to play Challenger Japan. He got upgraded right into VCT Pacific. So you gotta have some faith that this kid is gonna grow into a great player in the future.
Oh, absolutely. So great job to the birthday boy for today. And what I am liking about Pacific and the evolution of all the players across VCT, a lot of the MVPs we're seeing from all of these games aren't duelists anymore. They're controllers, they're sentinels, sometimes initiators, and we're just seeing a big shift in how everyone's been playing this game.
Yeah, and that's something that Pacific in general has kind of missed out on. Obviously, we have, you know, the strongest teams, yes, they've had it, like the likes of Mako, and then on Paper X, I guess everybody plays everything, so it kind of works out. But when you look at the best teams in the world, the ones who win champions, etc., that second line of entry, the second line of attack, that's where they're strongest. So seeing this evolution across the meta and kind of the rosters, I think it's a really good sign for Pacific overall.
Just having a well-rounded team, right? You can't always rely on the duelist, as what we saw with Depp, big example of that, where again on the Ascent map he was struggling so much. That's why we needed to look, you know, towards Urant. It was, well, not the younger player, but Sugar Zero that was really making those plays to ease up the pressure for those frontmen on Zeta's side.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we talk about it all the time where it's still an FPS. You still need to shoot heads. But at the same time, when everyone's so mechanically gifted and they've just gotten so good overall, this is where a lot more creative gameplay comes in, where you need to be super coordinated. We were talking about this earlier. We're going a lot faster now, a lot more aggressive, at least here in Pacific. And what that means is everyone needs to be more coordinated and super tight as a team.
Yeah, we even had moments, I believe it was this map actually, now it's all kind of mixing together, but where Zeta Division, like I believe Uran or Huron, you know, they're going for these jump peaks to set up their teammates to go for the trade, things like that. You used to never see that for Zeta Division, right? They're like, well, we don't have util, like what do? We gotta wait for the peak, and then you peak one by one, and it wouldn't look good. So now you're understanding, like, even if I do get picked off, if we can even out and stay ahead in numbers, that's what's important. So I'm liking that, again, we can see the philosophy change. Not gonna, you know, go in and say like this was the best game that we've seen from either of these teams, but what I'm trying to say is we're seeing the bright spots and the direction is there. Even for Bleak, even though they once again lost, I think we saw enough bright spots where it's like, okay, they're not entirely lost in the woods. They do see the light at the end of the tunnel. We just don't know how long that tunnel is.
Oh, yeah. Well, we kind of do, I guess. We know when stage 1 ends. But there's always stage 2.
But we don't know if the light is there at the end of stage 1. It might have to wait until stage 2.
Still like 3 to 4
Yeah, I can't believe you made me say that, but it sounds really brutal. But yes.
But you know what? To be fair to Bleed as well, we talked about this as well. They are our Ascension team, victors, and they did change their roster twice since then, and it's going to take some time. They're also new to Korea, unlike the other Pacific teams who had some time to adjust, because that was a problem last year for a lot of the teams who are not from Korea, just moving here, getting, you know, the culture shock, the food difference, even their diet, everything was just different, and I think that's what Bleed is going through right now.
Yeah.
Except for Zest, I guess.
Well, yeah, I guess Zest is home ground. Zest is like, guys, what's the problem? Like, this is just what Seoul is like. But, so it's not like we're trying to make excuses for Bleed, but it's the reality as well, right? This is something they have to work on. So while, yes, the brutal truth is that Bleed is not playing well and the individuals are not playing to the individual standards that we're used to, I think you have to give them that first year at the very least, right? Is there an upwards trajectory or not? So far in week 1, it looked a little iffy. But in week 2, it's like, okay, like maybe there's a little bit of a direction. So now we'll have to wait for week 3.
Yeah.
That's a big one too. Imagine just in a couple of days, they're already, you know, creating this much where it's almost that win. And it's, again, it's a close game, sure, but you're seeing that quick jump of skill up, which is a pretty big thing. It's not just months in between, it's days in between, and that's very hard to ask of players like this.
Yeah, it's just that obviously their remaining matches don't seem to get any easier. So
no,
so that's the tough part.
Yep. But you know,
the relativity.
We see miracles all the time in VCT. It happens.
DFM.
Yeah. I mean,
DFM,
you know, we call DFM a miracle, but it's like they changed their whole roster, and then we didn't really see them play. But yes, I know.
Okay, but DFM. Crazy Raccoon also did not win Challengers Japan.
Okay, that's fair. That's very fair. But I like what you guys pointed out. We're seeing upgrades, you know, even just within the 1 week. So by next week, especially with the introduction of a new agent, I think this is going to be pretty crazy. So Alpha Group, while they don't get too many more points this weekend, I believe Team Secret, you know, snatches one more for the Alpha Group. We are seeing leveling up in the gameplay across the board, which is good.
And now we're kind of escaping that nightmare everyone was afraid of like, wow, what if Genji's the only team with 2 wins in Alpha Group? It's like, well, no, there are 2 other teams with already 1 win, so they just need to get at the very least 1 more, and quite frankly, T1 looks like they are ready to snatch up the remaining games and try to go for a 3-3 record.
I mean, it's just retrospective for a lot of these teams, just making sure that, you know, we can look at the mistakes that we've had. We've already had so many tapes from week 1 and week 2. Now is the time to really not mess it up here for at least the Alpha Group.
Yeah, and then in Omega, I mean, Zeta, RQ, and Talon all tied up 2-1. This could very well really go down to map or round differentials, so you really got to start to consider. And in that aspect, Zeta's first game against Global, that 13-1 on Sunset, is really hard carrying them so far in that differential.
I just also want to add real quick, our next match, or next match, Genji versus DRX.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
The
That's
heads
gonna be
of Alpha
crazy.
and Omega.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
It's a very big one for DRX, really.
Oh, absolutely. I think this is their moment to prove to their fan base that they are back on track. I think a lot of them were worried last year. We were worried too. It was the first time they didn't make it to an international event. It was not too long ago. It was just in Masters Madrid. But, that's for next week. Today, we're going to celebrate our victors. We're going to go to the stage and interview with ZETA Division's MVP.
Thank you guys, and what a great birthday gift for Euron with ZETA Division putting up their second W on the board. I'm now standing here with ZETA Division's Laz. Now, congratulations, Laz. Today went the distance, all 3 maps. How relieved are you that you were able to walk away with the win tonight?
本日、2対1ということで3マップかなり長い試合だったと思うんですけど、どのくらい勝ちきれて安心していますか？
まあそうですね、勝たなきゃいけない試合だったんでめちゃくちゃ嬉しいですね。すごく安心して、だいぶ疲れたなっていう気持ちです。
Yeah, it was a match that we had to win. It was a match that we had to win. So I'm really relieved that we got it, and I'm really tired today.
Indeed, indeed. I'm going to let you go in a while, but we still have more questions to ask you. Now, I'm going to start with Ascent, because Bleed banned it so many times, and yet they won today. So what made it tough for you on that map?
アセントをプリード自体は何度もずっとバンしてきているマップだったと思うんですけど、そこに対して勝ち切ったマップを取られたということで、何が原因ですごく大変なマップだったと思いますか？
そうですね、ちょっとゼストとイエイに破壊されたなって、もう何ラウンド取られたか分かんないので、そこが一番間違いなく大きかったなと。
Yeah.
Well, Zest and Ye, they broke the game today for us. We don't even know how many rounds that they took from us, so I think that was a big factor in their win.
Okay. Now, when it came to Lotus, though, you guys had a pretty good read on Bleed, and they really like to play slow when it came to their attack. And ZETA is just not a stranger when it comes to playing things slow. So, what was it like going up against another slow tempo team? Was it like easier to maybe predict what they were going to do?
ロータスにおいて結構ブリードがかなりスローなプレーをしていたと思うんですけれども、ゼータもスローなプレーは馴染みがあると思うんですけれども、そういったところもあってアビリティの使い方とかだったり時間の使い方に対してなんか予測しやすかったみたいなところってございますか？
ある程度かなり時間かけて最後の方にスキル使ってくるっていう話も軽くはあったんですけど、やっぱり中盤のアドリブ勝負がすごくこっちがうまかったなと思っていて、コミュニケーションもしっかり取れたり、例えば1人がすごい大きいめっちゃ大事な情報を、普段取らないのも取れたりして、相手の最終戦略先が分かるみたいなのも多かったんで、今回はうまかったなと思ってます。
Well, we sort of had a few talks about what timing they would use their skill when they were playing slowly, but I think overall we sort of had a better communication, and we got to play on our tempo, and we had a lot of ad-libs during those slow games, which led us to get more info or something, and it would lead to a drastic change in the power balance in the game, and that led to a win.
All right, so great adjustments, great calls on the fly, but just I want to ask you just one little question out of curiosity. I know that Bleed already said that Ye's not going to play Chamber, but was there a part of you that's like, oh, maybe Ye's going to pull out the Chamber and it's going to be me and Ye with the Chamber battles? A little bit?
ブリードで明確にイエイがチェンバーをもうプレイしないというふうに発言していたと思うんですけれども、ちょっといやチェンバーをプレイしてほしいなみたいな気持ちとかってありましたか？
チームの方針だと思うので、そこには絶対関与したくないと思ってるんですけど、正直に言うと、本音を話すとめちゃくちゃチェンバー対決はしたいです。
I believe it's the team's decision to choose the agent, so I don't want to say anything to that, but if I'm being completely honest, I would have liked to have done a chamber battle.
I don't think we would have minded that. But last but not least, competition in Omega Group getting tougher and tougher, and you guys are facing Gen G next. So what's your mindset heading into that one?
最後に、オメガでの試合がどんどんきつくなってきていると思うんですけれども、次がジェンジー戦ということで、そこに対して、どのような目標でありますか？
はい、まずプレーオフ抜けのためにもう1勝しなきゃいけないので、もう死に物狂いで勝ち取りに行きたいなと、もうラスボス戦だと思ってます。はい。
So to go to playoffs, we need one more win. It's one game that we really need to try to win. So we're going to think they're the last boss and give it everything we've got.
Give it everything you've got. Well, thank you so much, Laz, once again for the interview, and happy birthday to Yuran too. There, you got my birthday cake, but this win is definitely better than my crappy cooking baked cake. But congratulations, Zeta Division, and thank you, Laz, once again for the post-match interview. Now that's all we have for week 2. We are going to be coming back on Saturday with Genji versus DRX and Bleed versus DFM. Matches you don't want to miss. So we'll see you next week.
Oke guys, sampai sini match kita hari ini, VCT Pacific Stage yang ke-1. G1 menghadapi RRQ dan Blade Esport menghadapi ZETA Division guys. So thank you buat teman-teman semua yang udah nemenin gua watch party ini. Thank you yang udah subscribe dan juga like. Makasih juga yang udah donate untuk teman-teman semua. Thank you yang udah nemenin. Thank you Bon, Mikel, Theo, dan juga teman-teman semua yang ada di YouTube. Nanti gua bakal live lagi. Gua bakal kabarin di Instagram story. I'll see you again in the next live stream. Sampai jumpa di live stream selanjutnya. Bye bye guys. I love you. Thank you semuanya.